fight the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Keep an arsenal, yeah, my gun is remarkable. Busted shots at the cardinal, now they calling inaudible. Killing all of them, evil people intolerable. Didn't mean to start of your blast, turn the particle. My apocrypha, summon my inner Asura, unlocking my chakra, flipping over your Akira. And I'm accurate, sniper rifle was damaging, blast as fast as a sassacus, cause his ass was a pacifist. Yes, I mastered this, leave you frozen like mannequins. Now the masses is panicking, turning evil like Anakin. Call the coroner, aftermath of a warrior, whooping your ass like Morpheus. Kill streak was so glorious. I'm the pinnacle, grind your ass in the minerals. No need for subliminals, government is the criminals. I'm the general, revolution, the miracle. The code is reppin', that's unpredictable. Motherfucker.
Those weapons of mass destruction gotta be somewhere.
On the world stage, pushing weapons of mass destruction. The only weapon is the voice speaking mass deception. CGI planes inserted on 9/11. The Patriot Act inserted, all rights have been suspended. Black magic magicians with malicious intentions keep casting your votes for puppets pre-selected. Pre-planned pandemic with experimental injections. Contractual consent keeps farm under full protection. FDA allows cancerous dyes to pass inspection. It's $1 trillion profit, keeping us in sickness. Hypocrites under Hippocratic oath is so sickening. Speaking food for thought, using my freedom to express. Until I strike a nerve, then I'm censored, I digress. Elite created the rules and board on this game of chess. Israel pulls the strings, I'm not surprised or impressed. I'm just buying time until it's time to suppress the noise with the silence, so we sentence you to death. Convicted of treason, I let the gallows do the rest.
The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion, and if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality. Bakushi thinks he's won the game, but he didn't count on a pinch hitter.
All is continuous vibration, always in motion. Conductor of energy, assault in the ocean. Serpent is the sine wave, polarities interwoven. A chemical sorcery, elixirs and potions. Resonant frequencies, molecular explosions. Your daily programs is heavy doses of hypnosis. People walk around blind even though their eyes are open. No time for ideological salesmen with biblical notions. That box in your room, televised lies through your vision. It doesn't matter your race, status, or religion. The longer I have to beat you when your mind is locked in prison. That food is filled with toxins, it's why you can't think clear. Illusion of choice is your option while keeping all in fear. Load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here. I said load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
In the instant, I changed the mission with photosynthesis. Witness the synthesis, rip it in the soul instruments. Feel the frequency, energy off this Hennessy synergy. Literally those that take us to infinity. Reading articles, all is horrible, calling audibles. I'm remarkable, I shot a fed at a carnival. Dust and particles, follicles gon' be everywhere. Heavy pair of some pistols, I shot them holding that teddy bear. Fuck the system, let's keep it simple, let's raise the temple. Make them tremble while you're going to where they all assemble. Not Avengers, I'm the Avenger, I seek to injure. Kept my temper till I stuck the hidden blade up in her. Fuck the ruler, here's what they doing to you. Poison water in the food is what you put into you. I'm the shooter with new maneuvers. Cop back your Ruger, super trooper. He is gonna need a pooper scooper. The revenge of Montezuma. Rocking my Pumas, uppercut like a Kuma, sending you straight to Luna. Cosmic verses from universes on new excursions, emerging the virgin. I pull the back the iron curtain. War leaders are war eaters, born cheaters, war sneakers, rearrange their core features. Born reaper, hurricane, the sword keeper, form ether, burn all of the mold geezers. Up in government, parliament, bitch, I'm tarnishing arguments, ain't no bargaining, throw a bomb in the audience. I'm the guardian, strange you all in the cardigan, rearrange the universe, I am the artisan.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space, so get the fuck out my face.
As a king, fighting the spirit of Mesa King, vibing to my queen, playing the tambourine, while I'm eating the tangerine. My plasma was replaced with gasoline, got the blood of the Elohim, manifesting through a dream, a shit you never seen. I got the eyes of Medusa, and the hands of Wolverine, astral project with my inner being. We locked in the inner ring, hoping the Anunnaki intervene. While the world is under siege, they got an abyss under the sea, living underneath. Lightning struck me standing under a tree while I was crumbling weed, and an angel swooped down, put me under her wing. Now she shields me from my desires the devil brings. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality.
Domain expansion.
Road One Production.
Welcome to the abyss. The unstoppable one. I am the illest, no doubt. Sporadic, eternal fire. There is no putting me out. I'm sending fiery rain, destroying cities and towns. The government never changed, so I'm taking them out. The FBI is a bitch. The CIA is a bitch. The NSA is a bitch. I know they watching this shit. We fuck around and get hit. My rebels fully equipped. They take the enemy down and ride out in their whip. And counting all of the chips.
So I wasn't going to go live today, but peace to Marsh and me and Tommy. Yeah, it's because of Tommy's video that truthfully it's disturbing, the shit that's coming out. I had to go look at that patent too. So I'm gonna set it off with Tommy's video. I don't know if it's his video or what, but it's from his channel. And this shit, when they say you'll own nothing and be happy, they're not playing. They're definitely not playing, man. You'll never own an automobile again. This is their goal, and it's all through safety. That's why I titled it "Safety is the Loophole to Control," because it's against your rights for them to do what they're doing, unless it's for safety. That's where they fuck us over. But in the Constitution, it states the government and police have no right to protect us, you know what I mean? But yet somehow they still get loopholes through safety. Check this shit out.
Come on! No! Now imagine there was an emergency outside the truck, an accident, something terrible on the ranch with a chainsaw.
Wild.
And I jump in this truck, but the truck, it won't shift into drive. Why? Because the cameras and sensors inside this cab won't let it shift, because it detects my eyes are big, there's a lot of emotion, there's some panic, and it doesn't feel that I'm fit to drive. Now that's not science fiction. That is happening because Ford just filed the patents. Ford actually has a series of patents down at the U.S. Patent and Trade Office that deal with the sensors and cameras inside the cab of their truck. And if the sensors in that truck determine that you're not fit to drive, that truck will not actually shift from park to drive. Now, they already have a system called telematics. And that's where they can actually pull up cameras in real time inside the cab of their fleet vehicles. Now, they actually market this to insurance companies because the truth is, this is really about who owns the data and who owns the liability. Now, your name might actually be on the title of this truck, and you may have paid for it, but you don't own it. Now, Ford didn't file just one patent. They filed a stack of them, all within months of each other. Are you sitting down? Get this. This Ford technology patent doesn't just watch you. This one puts you in jail. Ford filed a patent, serial number 0104469, where the system takes your biometric data, your face, your iris, and your fingerprint, and it runs it through a criminal database in real time. While you're sitting in your own truck, think about what that means. You wake up one morning, you walk out to your driveway, you climb into a vehicle with your name on the title, on property with your name on the deed. And before you go anywhere, before you've done a single thing wrong, your truck is already running your face through a law enforcement database. Ford's own patent language describes this as potentially useful for police. They wrote that. Ford wrote that into the patent application. So the question isn't whether this technology can be abused. Ford already told you who it's for. You just didn't know that you were buying a cop car. Now I'm going to walk you through a few of these patents. Lip reading, cameras inside your cab, machine learning trained on lip movement datasets, cloud connected, your face processed somewhere you'll never see, stored as long as they want. Acoustic lip reading, if the cameras aren't enough, the system emits inaudible sound waves and reads the echoes bouncing off of your mouth. You can't see it, it's just happening. Biometrics, your face fingerprint, iris, filed February 2024, and it was published August 2025. This one is assigned a serial number because it's real. Ad listening. This is scary. It monitors conversations between everyone in the cab. It serves targeted ads based on what you and others are talking about while you're driving. In Ford's words, maximum opportunity for ad-based monetization. No description of how that data is protected either. None. How about Ford Pro Telematics? Now this one isn't a patent. This one is actually a product page. Right now, fleet managers can pull live in-cabin video feeds of drivers on their phones. Ford markets seatbelt compliance alerts with the explicit benefit of lowering insurance costs. They said it themselves. This is the infrastructure, and once the infrastructure exists, it's going to get used and abused. Now, Ford isn't alone in this. This is an arms race. Smart Eye driver monitoring software is already in over 2 million cars globally. The EU's general safety regulation mandates drowsiness systems as standard equipment going forward. GM deployed biometric seat sensors and heart rate monitoring in production trucks in 2025. Tesla even added cabin AI stress detection that same year. There was a conference in Europe in 2025. Industry leaders, engineers, and OEM representatives with a session called Monitoring the Driver's Heart, real-time cardiac data from a camera in your cab. Interestingly enough, the European Union looked at emotion recognition AI and said, you know what? This is pseudoscience. This violates fundamental rights. We're banning this in workplaces and schools. Then they wrote in a carve-out. Medical reasons, safety reasons. So the same technology that's illegal to run on an employee sitting at a desk is perfectly legal to run on a truck driver doing 70 miles an hour on a highway. Because they called it safety. That's the trick. That's always the trick. Let's talk about seatbelts for a moment. And not because seatbelts in a truck on a ranch are important, but I want to show you where this ends. Even GM vehicles today have interlocks that deal with the seatbelt, the transmission, and the doors. And they won't shift if the seatbelt's not clicked or the doors are open. Now, Ford's own documentation shows the exact same interlock behavior. These features are designed by people who've actually never worked on a ranch. They have never backed up a trailer through a gate with the door open. They've never been in a pasture and had to bail out of a truck fast. They have never done a single thing with a truck that didn't involve a paved road and a parking spot. And let me promise you, there is no epidemic of ranchers dying because the door on their truck was open when they were driving around the ranch. Nobody came to us with the data, and nobody asked how we work. They just make the rules for us. And their argument is always, well, if it saves one life. But the truth is, at what cost? Because someone decided that the risk of me driving with my door open was their problem when it's not. That's mine. And the moment that you accept that logic, that your bad decisions justify controlling mine, you've already lost something that you're not getting back. Let me tell you what this is actually for. Ford Telematics already explicitly connects driver behavior data to insurance cost savings. That's not speculation. That's their marketing copy. Once in cabin biometric data exists, elevated heart rate, facial tension, gaze pattern, emotional state, insurance companies don't need a court order to access it. They need a data agreement, and those already exist. You'll get in an accident, and in that 90 seconds before impact, your truck logged your heart rate, your eye movement, your facial expression, and your lip movements. Law enforcement subpoenas the data. Your own truck testifies against you. Your insurance company denies the claim. You were in an elevated state. The data says so. You signed the terms of service when you activated the connected features. You agreed. You never thought of it as evidence collection. You just bought a truck. Ford isn't doing this because they care about your safety. Ford is doing this because data is the product now. The truck is just the subscription model. And you're paying them every month in data, whether you know it or not. Now, what about our rights? Nobody asked you. Nobody came to your door and said, hey, we're going to put a camera in your truck that watches your face, reads your lips, monitors your heart rate, and stores it on a server somewhere in the cloud. We're going to let insurance companies access it, and we're going to let law enforcement subpoena it. And we're going to do all of that inside of a vehicle with your name on the title. Now, the Fourth Amendment protects you from unreasonable searches, but you signed the terms of service. Now, whether that's legal or not, I don't know, but that's how they're getting around it. They don't search you, they just build a product that you can't drive without giving up those rights. And we're handing them everything. They're telling this that this all started because of a convertible, wind noise, and not being able to hear the assistant. So they built a system that monitors your lips, your eyes, and your heart rate, and it determines whether or not you're fit to drive. Now, I bought this truck and I own this truck, and somewhere someone is building a system that disagrees with me. I don't think so.
Well, like I said, I got a solution. Stop buying their fucking junk. Their fucking prison on wheels. That's one solution. But that shit reminds me of the monopolizing of homes. Now they're going to do it with automobiles. Like he was saying, one day you could leave your home, or even Tesla. You don't make your payment and you'll come outside and your car will be gone. It'll repo itself. They even do it with homes. Digital locks on the door. You don't pay your rent, you'll come home and your lock will be changed. You won't be able to get in your home. Like Renegade said, man, we should have had a revolution a long time ago. And what's wild to me is we just slowly roll with these punches, man, as they put them in place. Because most people don't see it. They're not looking towards the future. You know, most people don't look at things like we do. All most people care about is getting their bills paid and going to work. That's 90% of the world. And then one day somebody will be locked out of their apartment with the digital lock and they'd be like, you can't do this to me. They didn't even read their lease. People don't even read contracts either. Like my lease is crazy. They charge you for a cat, extra money, or a dog. Every dog you have is extra money. They'll charge you for each animal. To throw heavy trash out, they charge you. Damn, if you got fish, they charge you extra money. Trying to think of the other ridiculous things I've seen on my lease. And they go by income too. So every person that stays in your apartment has got to give up their income, and the more people, the more money they're going to charge you, obviously. But yeah, the lease here is terrible. I could see them charging for dogs, because dogs, like we had people here that lived on the top floor. And their apartment was infested, man, with roaches and bed bugs. And the dogs are fucking shit up there. They literally had to strip that entire apartment. They had to go in there with Tyvek suits. I was worried that shit was going to spread everywhere, but it didn't, thank God, man. Them people were nasty as fuck. They used to always try to be nice to me, man. I wouldn't even talk to them. They had 3 big ass dogs. Anyway, who cares about that shit? Back to Brian had a good video too. I should have downloaded that one too. Tommy put some good stuff up, man. People should check Tommy's channel out. He put some good content up there. Some eye-opening stuff. I talked about that other video Tommy put up about the what are they called? The Pilgrim Society, I think it was called. That was a good one. How they're after all the silver and gold. Yeah, I seen this video yesterday when you put it up, and I was in shock. I was like, I knew it, man. Because when Tesla came out and they had automatic driving and computers in the car, I said it's a matter of time, man, before. Like people, I told people, I said, you love these Teslas, but they're listening to everything you talk about. So if you're doing your thing with drugs or anything, they're listening to it all, man. All your phone calls is listened to already. I mean, even in your home, people think, oh, I'm not on my phone. Yeah, but your TV's listening. Your refrigerator's listening. Your stove is listening. People don't even realize that. If your fridge is hooked up to the internet and has a computer to tell you what, some fridges will tell you what you're running out of. To me, that's ridiculous. You're that fucking lazy. You need a fridge to tell you what you're running out of. Like, I don't want none of that digital shit. I'd rather have an old stove, an old fridge. I don't need my fridge to tell me anything. We live in a crazy time, man. Some people love the technology. It's all right, but not what it's being used for. That's why all these data centers are going up, too. It's part of the prison. Because all the cars are going to be digital. Everything, man. Before you know it, you'll have waiters that are robots. I don't know. Like I said, we should have nipped this in the bud a long time ago. Now you got people like Palantir putting these flock cameras up. There's a guy in Colorado who keeps getting pulled over because the flock camera says he has warrants, but the guy don't have warrants. It's because somebody put him in the system as a red flag. It's shit like that it's dangerous. What if the cops pulled him over and gunned him down? Yeah, those flock cameras are everywhere. And best believe, when they scan your shit, all your information comes up. Where you live, who you are, your social security, everything. Probably your fingerprints, too. And your fucking blood type. Who knows, man? I think all your information comes up for sure. And, yeah, Brian had another part of the good video too, and he was talking about China. In fucking China, they make you register your knives into a data system, and the knives in your home they literally put fucking numbers on the knives and scan them into the computer. So if your knife was used in a fight or something, they can trace it to you. Y'all want to live like that? That's insane, man. This world is fucking crazy. Control like that. China's pussy. They should have been rose up. How many fucking people are in China and they just go with that shit? What the fuck is wrong with people, man? Seriously. It blows my mind. It seriously fucking blows my mind. People have become that fucking weak. Man, it's mind-blowing. Mind fucking blowing, man. And I was reading this stuff on hypnosis. It talks about how the TV, people thinks the TV switching pictures. Where is this part? And it says the second factor is that even when the dots go on, not all of them are lit simultaneously. Which dots are on determines the picture. In a sense, the television screen is like a newspaper photograph or the images on a film, which are also comprised of dots, except that the television dots are lighted one at a time according to a scanning system that starts behind the screen, proceeding along a line from the upper right-hand portion of your screen across the top to the left. The scan lights some dots and skips others, depending upon the image to be conveyed. Then the scan goes down another line, starts at the right again, and goes across to the left, and so on. What you perceive as a picture is actually an image that never exists in any given moment, but rather is constructed over time. Your perception of it as an image depends upon your brain's ability to gather in all the lit dots. Collect the image they make on your retina in sequence and form a picture. The picture itself, however, never existed, unlike ordinary life, in which whatever you see actually exists outside you before you let it in through your eyes. A television image gains its existence only once you've put it together inside your head. As you watch television, you do not see any of this fancy construction work happening. It is taking place at a rate faster than the nerve pathways between your retina and the portion of your brain that sees and can process them. You can only see things that happen within a range of speed. This is because 4 million years of human, like they know that. Human evolution developed our eyes to process only that data which were concretely useful. Until this generation, there was no need to see anything that moved at electronic speed. Everything that we humans can actually do anything about moves slowly enough for us to see. Even though you don't see every dot go on and off in sequence, these events are happening. Your retina receives the light continuously, and your brain cells record their reception. The only thing that doesn't happen continuously is the translation of the energy into the images inside your head. Oops, what the fuck? Oh, wait. Oh. As you watch television, you do not see any of this fancy construction work happening. Didn't I just say that? Yeah. What the fuck happened here? Oh, here we go. Okay, so that happens only at about 10 times per second. Television is sending its sequential images at 30 times per second. A few years ago, there was a big fuss about advertisers exploiting the differential in these rates. A technique called subliminal advertising places images within a dot scan sequence at a speed which is faster than sight. You get hit with the ad, but you can't process this fast enough, so you don't know the ad is registering. Your seeing processes are plodding along at non-electronic speed, while the advertisers have access to electronic speed. Your brain gets the message, but your conscious mind doesn't. According to those who have used the technique, it communicates well enough to affect sales. So you ever watch a fucking commercial and you want a cheeseburger? Yeah, living in Connecticut sucks too. That data center is about to raise all the prices. I walked by the data center today, and I've never seen so much security in my life. They got so many fucking cameras. Because I was walking around checking the, like, what's going on. Are they, because I don't see any construction going on in any of those buildings. But yet they have all the fucking things running. And they're pretty loud, too. I'm just waiting for people to start getting super sick from the heavy metals that are about to be in our drinking water. Because people, you know, people would say, Chuck, how do you know? Because I've researched other data centers and it's already happening. So what would this one be any different? Anyway, let's see. I just got a couple more, I think one more paragraph to read. I wish he had said overpowering. The word participatory has been passed around at thousands of cocktail parties, misleading people to assume that if only they have managed to go through McClough's books, they have discovered that their innate feelings, incidental evidence, what's incidental mean? That the experience is passive and that it deadens my mind was somehow wrong. In fact, watching television is participatory only in the way, what's this ringing sound? Only in the way the assembly line or a hypnotist blinking flashing lights. Eventually, the conscious mind gives up noting the process and merges with the experience. The body vibrates with the beat and the mind gives itself over, opening up to whatever imagery is offered. At the largest category of terms that people use to describe their television viewing relates to its hypnotic effect. I asked 3 prominent psychologists, famous partly for their work with hypnotism, if they could define the TV experience as hypnotic, and if so, what they meant. I described to each the concrete details of what goes on between viewer and television set. Dark room, eyes still, body quiet, looking at light that is flickering in various ways. Sound contained to narrow ranges and so on. Dr. Frida Morris said, it sounds like you're giving a course outline in hypnotic trance induction. Morris, who is a former professor of medical psychology at UCLA and author of several books on hypnosis, told me that inducting trances was really very easy. The main method is to keep the subject quiet, still, cut down all diversions and outside focuses. She said, and then to create a new focus, keep their attention, and at a certain point, get them to follow your mind. There are a great variety of trance states. However, common to all is that the subject becomes inattentive to the environment and yet very focused on a particular thing, like a bird watching a snake. So you mean, I said, that the goal of the hypnotist is to create a totally clear channel, unencumbered by anything from the outside world, so that the patient can be sort of unified with the hypnotist. She agreed with this way of putting it, adding that hypnotism has power implications which she loathes. As a result, she uses her first session with patients to teach them how to self-hypnotize, reducing her power over them. I don't use tricky signals to set them off anymore or get them to look into my eyes. That encourages their giving power to me. However, I'm sorry to say that most doctors don't encourage self-hypnosis. I guess they want the power. Dr. Ernest Hilgard, who directs Stanford University Research Program in Hypnosis and is the author of the most widely used text in the field, agreed that television could easily put people into a hypnotic state if they were ready for it. He said that, in his opinion, the condition of sitting still in a dark room, passively looking at light over a period of time, would be the prime component in the induction. Sitting quietly with no sensory inputs aside from the screen, no orienting outside the television, set itself capable of getting people to set aside ordinary reality, allowing the substitution of some other reality that the set may offer. You can get so imaginatively involved that the alternatives temporarily fade away. A hypnotist doesn't have to be interesting. He can use an ordinary voice, and if the effect is so quiet the person, he can invite them into a situation where they can follow his words or actions and then release their imagination along the lines he suggests. Then they drift into hypnosis. Dr. Charles Tart, professor of psychology at the University of California at Davis, author of several, who gives a fuck, of best-selling books, they always got to put that, on authored states of consciousness, told me hypnosis is probably the closest metaphor as a state, but I don't know if I could equate it with television watching. Hypnosis is a state where you destabilize the ordinary state and then eventually get people into an altered state where they will follow a particular stimulus input more strongly and with much less critical reflection than they would normally. There is certainly a lot of comparability there. I'll end it there. I ain't gonna keep going to bore everyone, but y'all get the point. And they just keep bringing up doctors and shit from other, it's a long book. It's like a couple hundred pages, but I just wanted to share that opening part. The flickering lights, I've opened TVs up and I've looked at the what do you call that part, the tube. I've turned the motherfucker on with no just to see what it does. Has anyone ever taken a TV apart? The screen's literally in layers. I've seen people take computer screens apart, right? And what they did was they took that outer layer and they cut it and they put it on glasses. So they would turn the screen on without that outer layer. You couldn't see nothing, but then you put the glasses on and you could see everything. That is fucking dope. I don't know whoever thought of doing that, but that's very creative. Yeah, I didn't and of course they had to have this last guy that I read. They always got to have the duality. It's like they got to have someone say that, oh, I don't see how television could hypnotize you when it has all the components that hypnotize. But if you look at the patent, it literally was created as a hypnosis machine, flickering images, but they always got to put the denial in there because that's how they do with everything, man. They'll tell you the truth and then go against what they said. Always, they put the truth out there, and then they be like, "Nah, it's not true." Whoever invented the television, that's crazy, man, to think of this stuff. For somebody to sit there and think, like, we have to be light, literally. Like, look at the military when they use night vision. We light up. That's how they see us, because we are light. That's facts. That, you know, we are light beings. And that's how the drones, when drones are flying over and they could see people walking in the house, that's because we light up. It's the only way. They say it's heat signature, but it's light. Sometimes I wonder about all this technology and where it all come from. We got to be in some sort of a simulation, because when I think about it, these devices are transferring light through a fucking wire. Does anyone ever think, what the fuck are you doing? Puma, you're bugging. She climbed in my sweater. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah. Whoever thought that light can travel through a wire, come out the other end. Telescope. Yeah, it's telling your scope when you look through it. Telepathy. I don't know what a pathy is, but I know what a path is. Maybe it's predicting your path. That's what telepathy is, no? Or it's telling your path. Like a telescope is literally telling your scope when you look through the scope. I like how people break words down.
Good morning.
What's up, Max? How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Pretty good. Seeing that video yesterday fucked me up. I said, I knew it.
What video?
The video I played on the Ford patent.
Oh, I wasn't here.
To where, man, you could be, huh?
No, we catch you on the weekends usually.
Man, it's basically they're gonna, like everything else, they use safety for the loophole, because they try to make the patent for where they're gonna put cameras in the car and all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And they said it's against the rights. So what they did was they redid the patent and said it's for your safety. You know, we're gonna be able to see into your eyes, and if we determine you're not able to drive, we'll just turn your car off and you won't be able to put it in drive. So technically you'll never own the car either. It really won't be your car. Just like houses, you know, they sucker people into buying a house, but it really ain't your house. You know, when you die, it's gonna be sold again. And then the next person will come through and be suckered into paying their hard-earned money. It's a fucking joke, man. I got a solution. Stop buying their fucking cars. You know, I know people say, I got to get to work somehow. We got to go on strike.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to suffer to get something done right. I mean,
Well, people could start building cars that aren't like that. You know?
Yeah. Or buy old cars. Or buy a car and take it apart and get that shit out of there. That's another way. There's always ways to bypass that. Even though I've seen a lot of these newer cars, because I have a friend that's a mechanic, and he was working at a job, and you know the computers you plug into the car, he stole one of them. I don't know how he did it, but he has one, and you plug it into the cars.
I guess they're not as expensive as they used to be.
Man, like, that blows my mind. And then when you open some of these car hoods, they have all these, like, they make it so difficult for people to do it on their own. Like, you need special tools for this, special tools for that. It's not like a 1996 Honda where I used to help my friend, you know, change things on the engine, or it was easy. Now they make it so difficult, so you have to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The way this world's turning out, man, it isn't for the better. Everything that's being done is not for our benefit.
No. First thing they should do is take computers out of the schools. Kids have just become dumber.
They're already becoming dumber in America. They should take history out of class. Well, what does all that history matter? The only history that should matter is your family history. And all they talk about is war anyway in them history books. They should replace that with law. You know, if the law of the land's so important, they should be teaching at a young age law, at least the Constitution.
Yeah.
And then when you get older, if you could get into real law.
Yeah, they don't want common people to understand the law or money or real history.
Man, I watched this guy. He was in the courtroom. Brian posted the video. He was in Washington State, I think. And man, he did a good job. He was like, "You guys have no jurisdiction over me," because the courts are a foreign entity. I'm learning this stuff now. That's why when you go to court, they say you have no rights, no constitutional rights, because they're foreign entities. They're part of the corporation in Washington, D.C. I'm learning all this shit, and I'm like, man, this is sinister, man. It's fucking sinister.
Yeah, even your individual cop, like they work for the city, right?
Yep.
The city
They
is
have
not
no
a government.
jurisdiction
It's
either.
incorporated. So it's a business. So a business or a corporation has no right to impose law on anyone.
Yep. So the police really have no jurisdiction either. They're like the redcoats.
Yeah.
You know, one day there's going to be a war inflicted on them. And it sucks. Because they don't even know. They don't even know what they're doing, most of these cops. I bet you. They don't even know. They just consider it a job. They have no clue that they're just destroying America. You know, the oath they're taking is an illusion. It's a lie. Because the cop's job is to destroy the Constitution. It's not to uphold it. It's a fucking lie, man. It's a joke.
Yeah, their job basically is to subvert your constitutional rights.
Yep.
Get you to agree to a crime that you really didn't commit because there are no crimes.
Yeah, every time I got arrested, I had to prove my innocence. There was no innocent to proven guilty. I was guilty.
Yeah.
And I had to prove it. Yeah, that's wild, man. And most people don't even, if you try to tell them that the courts are a foreign entity, so are the police, people like, nah, they don't know what you're talking about, man. They take an oath. Yeah. Well, I forgot the guy's
Anybody
name.
can take an oath. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know?
There's a guy in Florida where they just raided his fucking business. I forgot his name, and they took his guns. He didn't even do nothing wrong. And the judge signed off on it.
We like y'all.
We got, well, I can't say that name. Hold on. I know this is more Christ, but
It's me.
oh man, you had me fooled, Wayne.
No, it's me.
I wish I could share Brian's video with the guy. Man, I forgot his name. He seems to be pretty famous on YouTube, but some guy threatened him, and it just so happens the guy knows the judge that signed the warrant for them to go to his business and seize his guns, and he didn't commit any crime, none, under the red flag law. So that bitch is a fucking tyrant, that judge. You know, these people abuse their power all the time, and people are getting real sick and tired of it, which is a good thing. We need way more people to get sick and tired of this shit.
Yep. There's a protest today. And well, there's one every weekend now in my city, pretty much. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of like an offshoot of the No Kings rally thing, which really doesn't mean anything. We already have a king.
No, I don't, because you're going to take one prime minister out and get another one that's going to do the same shit, man.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's the AI, right? It's not blood. It's artificial intelligence.
Well, it certainly isn't real intelligence, that's for sure.
Yeah, everyone they put in place got the same intelligence or similar. It's AI. Education is AI.
A lot of governments do use AI to advise them. It's weird.
You know what I'm saying? Education is artificial intelligence. There's no life in it. So all the people in office I suppose, are educated. So you cut one head of the hydra off, another head to grow.
Well, you cut enough heads off, eventually it'll die.
What's up, Jason? Peace to Jason. Marsh and me said, have you tested the population?
We really should be doing that, getting rid of all the politicians that right now are in power, because 99% of them are corrupt. Move the next set up, and if they're corrupt, get rid of them. Keep moving people up.
The policy is in the file cabinet. That's what they go by. It's the file cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do want you to make you think that it's an unwinnable war, that if you just get rid of a couple people, it'll still go on. It'll still be the exact same, but it won't.
Or you put it out your mind. Right?
They want us to be scared of them, like the big bad government. But if you look at everywhere they ever been in, they got their ass whooped. And it ain't about war. I don't want to go to war and hurt people. But if we came together, we could fix this without going to war, because we outnumber them millions.
You're already in the war.
Yeah, we already are in the war. I feel like I've been at war. I've been at war since I came out of the womb.
The AI is like a head that was wounded, right? But it lived. So.
Oh, STDs.
Oh, like the Trump head that was wounded, right?
Yeah, the AI.
Man, Trump Trump got a magical ear and Kirk had a magical neck, man.
Yep.
The neck of steel. What a crock of shit that was.
Yep. It's all a ritual. They might have really killed Charlie, but who knows?
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
Because I've shot tons of things and I've watched tons of videos with different caliber bullets, and that caliber bullet would have made a small entry wound and blew the other side out. And this dude had there would have been blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And when they carried him off, that was another stupid thing. Let's say he did get shot in the neck, and the way they carried him would have fucking paralyzed him. Like they just grabbed them and scooped them up like that. And there was no trail of blood. There would have been blood everywhere. It's a fucking joke. You seen the video when the cop was behind him and supposedly Kirk's legs were hanging out the vehicle?
No, I didn't.
I mean, like, and there's something with these rituals, like what was that rapper in LA? Nipsey Hussle. When they were bringing him into the ambulance, his leg moved, but he had one sock on and one sock off, or it was one shoe on and one shoe off, which is, if you look it up, there's a Masonic ritual like that.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a few times in these incidents where there's one shoe on and one shoe off. What did they shoot him out his shoe? I mean, it don't even make sense.
It's amazing how many people do lose their shoes when they get hit by cars.
No, he was shot.
Yeah,
this
I know.
Guy.
With cars, a lot of people lose their shoes, but getting shot, I don't think that makes you lose your shoes.
Maybe if it's like a super high caliber, but maybe not. In the movies it happens, but that's a movie.
Maybe a cannon. Yeah.
Damn, imagine getting hit by a cannonball. Oh my God. You'd be in the chest, you'd be dead. That thing would collapse your entire, it would snap your spine and crush your ribs. Oh man. That would be so painful. Oh, when I look at the cannonball era of war, that's so, shooting one of those into a group of people is diabolical, man. Imagine the bodies that were on the ground afterward.
Yeah.
Even the rifles they had with the steel balls. Oh man.
Oh, the musket balls. Yeah.
Whoo. Oh. And the way they would line up, I think that's all fiction, man. Because I know if I was a soldier, I am not lining up like that. You're just asking to die. To me, the whole Civil War looks made up, and a lot of shit don't add up. These star forts don't add up.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, they say it was for defense, but when you look, there was star forts all over the world. So how does that work? Well, they built them just for the Civil War in America. They weren't using them overseas for that. I mean, their stories just fall apart. And I think Civil War could have been a takeover. Like, I was seeing a video of Old World Detroit, and I could not believe my eyes of how Detroit used to look.
Yeah.
And I found pictures of Old World New Britain, and my eyes were blown. I found this picture, and the church that I showed it before. It's on the north end, and it has a 6-pointed star in the window. It's a very old church. It has slate steps, and I found it. I seen it in the picture, but in this picture, there's no highway going through New Britain. There's way more giant buildings everywhere. There's way more railroad tracks. And I was just blown away. And when they're ripping the street up over here around the corner, and there's cobblestone bricks. That's where I got that brick from. Under the fucking street. The cobblestones still exist. I pulled another one out. I hit it. The thing is fucking huge and heavy, but but I think these cobblestones are older than what I
Yeah.
think. I was going to say the 70s, but I think they're way older than that.
Could be old Roman roads.
So I was thinking, because it's in the road. It's not like where the sidewalk is. They dug out to the road, and this is in the road.
Yeah. Even a lot of people think that the Romans didn't build roads; they just uncovered them.
Mm.
The AI always left its mark on the dollar in the movies. The AI always left a mark that it was the AI.
Let me show you this picture I got of Old New Britain. I found it by accident, because usually they show the same fucking pictures, but this time I was digging around everywhere. I got this one. I got this one. I found a picture of the Sting that used to be here, where they used to have concerts. Wu-Tang came there, Metallica. Man, my grandfather used to tell me about the Strand Theater, and I found pictures of the Strand Theater. It used to be a theater before they put the highway through the center of New Britain and ruined it. New Britain had everything, man. Theaters. This is a picture of it's probably hard to see, but if you zoom in, this is old New Britain. Now, it looks nothing like this anymore. Most of these buildings are all gone.
Yeah.
At least 90% of them are gone. All these factories that were there, there's tons of them. Like, if you zoom in, it's better. The pixels are good on this. You could zoom in, but I should send this to my laptop so I could zoom in and show. But I was trying to find, where's this church? Let me zoom in. The church is, and these buildings, man, they don't look like they were built by, man, look at all these railroad tracks. I'm trying to find where Stanley Works is. Man, this building's huge. Some of these buildings, this building goes all the way. Yo, this building is fucking big. Yo. Holy shit. Damn, it's like a mile long. Anyway, where's that church? Where did it go? Come on. I thought it was over here. Where are you? Huh. Interesting. The church ran away from me.
Just hiding.
Oh, I seen it last time. Maybe I didn't and I was bugging. Oh, wait. Okay.
Yeah, Gaddafi was pretty good to his people. His basic problem was he tried to make his own dollar and step outside the system. Same thing happens to everybody that does that. They get overthrown and turned into a tyrant. So basically what happens.
It's another factory in New Britain. I think this is one big building. Actually, I know where this is. This was, I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is the one that
main plant.
I'm trying to think where this was, what street. Now this, Andrews, this is, dude, I think this is, that building right there. I think this is downtown. But a lot of this is gone. A lot of these buildings are gone.
Yeah.
Amazing, though. I think that building that has the white front, that's across the street from the police station. In the Andrews, Yeah, it's depressing the way they ruined New Britain, man. All these factories. I was looking at all the patents and stuff that was created in New Britain. It's mind blowing. Pages of patents. Yeah, I gotta find that one that had the Strand Theater. Like my grandma used to tell me a lot of stories of New Britain and how huge and how many people lives here. And once they put the highway through the middle, it ruined it all. He said it destroyed New Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they put a highway, which to me to this day don't make sense. You got this highway. To me, when they put it through the center of New Britain, it was connecting two highways, which didn't make sense because all you had to do is get off fucking exit and then drive a little bit and get back on another highway or something. I have to show you on the map. It literally don't make any sense why they would do this. Just to shorten time or something. Like, I wonder how many like factories and jobs were lost and houses for them to put this stupid highway through it.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, it's just pattern recognition. You see the pattern repeat over and over again through history. We see these patterns. Now we're living through another one. Right?
And I want to see if I could find cobblestone streets in New Britain, because that'll give me the time of these bricks. I don't know if back in them days in the 1800s, if they stamped their bricks, maybe. These bricks remind me of patio bricks. But I lived on this street. I moved there in, I think, 89 or 90 with my mother. Building over for I am now. And we lived there for, I think, 8 years. And then I've always known this area, so I know there was no cobblestone street. It's always been the way it is until they just tore it up now.
Yeah.
It's always been the same. And they're making the streets smaller too, which is stupid. They're making these huge fucking sidewalks. I don't even know why they're so wide and big. It don't make sense.
I like that.
I seen a video of a cop took a boy's bike.
Right, they're going to take away all your cars, so you need big sidewalks.
Maybe. Yeah, the way they're doing these cars, man, is it just blows my mind when you try to tell certain people this stuff. They just don't get it, man. They be like, nuh-uh, man, the government ain't gonna control us. No.
Yeah, they've been able to take control of your car with OnStar since that was created. Basically, what it was created for. Yeah.
To track you, right?
Well, track you, and they can have control of your car too. You never noticed how they can unlock your car and do other things once they can get.
I never had that.
System.
I've heard of it though.
It was on the commercial, right? You know, I lost my keys. Can you unlock my car? And they will. Right? But that's just one of the things they can do.
Wow.
That's been, I don't know, OnStar was back in the 90s.
Well, there's a Russian guy who said you can hack Tesla cars and drive them because he's done it already. It was a Russian hacker.
Yeah.
He said it's that easy.
Pretty much any car now you can. If you can hack the system, you can drive it.
I remember this was in like 2010, between 2006 and 2010.
Yeah.
There's this place called Chuck and Eddie's. It was like a junkyard for cars. And they had a thing where they would buy any car, you know, old ones. If it didn't run, as long as it had the title, they'll come and buy it off you right then and there. And they were junking them all, crushing them and selling them like that as scrap metal.
Yeah.
And now I know why, because they want to get rid of all cars that aren't controllable off the street. They don't want nothing that can't be tracked. They don't want no 80s cars.
Nope.
They're trying to get rid of all that shit. Just so you have no choice but to get one of these newer cars where they can fucking repo your shit. Like, that's scary to me, a Tesla car. Imagine coming outside and you're $20 short on your payment. You come outside to go to work and your car done left on you and went back to...
Well, there was a movie clip of a bunch of cars being driven back to the factory automatically.
I've seen that in that movie, that Obama movie, where the cars are driving on their own.
They'll do that.
Who's seen that Obama movie? I
I
forgot the name of it.
just saw the clip.
I watched it. It was where the birds started flying north instead of south, and
Oh, yeah.
I think they already hacked into Mount Meru or whatever. Because I think we live in some sort of computer or something. That's just my opinion.
Wouldn't be as much trouble for them if we lived in a computer.
I think that's the only way they could. Like, we live in some sort of machine. It's electromagnetic.
Well, in a way,
machine of some sort.
And it's binary, kind of.
I think they've reset this place a few times already.
Maybe. People think we had a reset back in 2012 and 2000, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
End of the Mayan calendar, that was a big one for people.
It would be crazy if we were reset and we didn't even know it.
Right?
We just woke up into it and being in the computer, son.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could do that, but
well, they are. They can read and write to your brain now with fMRI.
Couple Star Wars backgrounds.
Have you seen the clip where that Ariana Grande said, I don't remember, I went to that place where they wipe your memory.
Oh, shit. I'll never do that.
I don't think she gets a choice.
That's crazy, man. Why would someone want to sell their soul
probably
like that?
Fucking sexually and physically abuse the fuck out of her and then just wipe her memory.
That's crazy, man. There's some real pieces of shit in this world.
Yeah.
It's insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Oh.
Yeah, they do some crazy shit. Oh, there was some. There was 3 X-class solar flares a few days ago. And if you don't like the machine, that's kind of a good thing. We could have another Carrington event.
What they name Carrington?
Wipe all the fucking computers clean. They'd have to start from ground zero if they could start again at all. Because they've collected data for about 100 years now. Over 100 years. And fed that all into their machines.
That's wild. 100 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, funny thing, the old dial-up phones, the wires?
Yeah.
Yeah, they collected brainwave activity off of that.
These fucking people, man.
They collect all the data that they can. Oh. But yeah, a good fucking solar flare could fucking just take him right out. Start wishing for a solar flare if that's what you want.
I forgot where this was. A bunch of antennas. I don't know if this is. Oh, it's Australia. Now I remember.
Yeah, they know too. Like we could take down all these systems within a day. Really wouldn't be much of a problem.
Shit, we should. How this?
Well, there have been small pockets, like in I think it was Netherlands. They tried to burn down quite a few of them, quite a few of the cell towers. You got to get to the radar stations on the military bases too.
It's crazy.
Because all the radar is tuned to you too.
I hooked my let's see if I can show this.
And now they got satellites that can read your brainwaves from space.
I hooked my computer up to a TV screen. My laptop. I put it on a TV screen. It's so much better. I didn't know it was possible. I used one of the HMD1 cables, and it worked. It worked. I forgot that kid's name that used to come here from Alaska. He's the one who sent me that laptop for free. It's been so long since he's been here.
Commiserates means to express or feel sympathy, compassion, or sorrow for someone's misfortunes or suffering. It often implies sharing the disappointment or misery of a bad situation. Example, she commiserated with them on their loss, usually followed by with. Consider includes sympathize, condole, console, feel, for, and sympathize. Interesting word.
If you have anything you want to add with new technology or anything, I gotta find out.
No, actually, it's all getting out there now, kind of.
Damn. I'm thinking if I should, Brian asked, I'm thinking I'm gonna try to play that video that he has and see if it'll work. I gotta get internet for my fucking
You
laptop.
put a link in the back chat and I'll play it.
Oof. I appreciate it. Let me get it. I gotta get some fucking internet. I wonder how much internet is. Can't be that much.
$30 a month.
Wow, that's cheap.
That'll be on a new offer. Then you have to quit that company and go to another one with a new offer. And repeat. Hi, Boji. Pretty good term. It'll be hard for me to remember. Commiserates. Well, maybe I'll remember it. I don't know. I'd say I'm a little more angry than suffering.
All right, this
I would
is
call
the
myself more discontented. Yeah. Very discontented with the outside world.
Yeah. What's up, Boji? I put it in the back chat. It's not a long video.
Kind of, yeah. Anger is kind of a form of suffering. Anyway.
Weeping and lamentations. We're celebrating suffering.
I personally kind of think the technology could be used very well. But, you know,
it could.
Yeah.
I don't think we need like the flock cameras and all that.
No.
We could go without being tracked and fucking.
Yeah. But you know, like the pyramids and the cathedrals and all that, they could put out good frequencies. They could do the same thing with these towers and devices.
Oh. I
I
put the
suppose
link
that's lamenting the fact that we could have it good. So that's pretty. Yeah, I suppose you're pretty close there, Marsh.
Just let me know when you put the
oh yeah
share.
Wasn't it? Okay.
What the hell? Oh. Yeah, I don't think the video is long. I think it's like 10 minutes or something. I think.
Okay.
The only reason I want to play is because he made a big deal about it. He's like, this has to go viral. Well, I ain't going to go viral on my channel, that's for sure. But I still think people should see the tyranny in these judges, though.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to play. Got to put on the headphones because I can't hear it. Can't hear it anyway.
This is basically our police state surveillance cage that they're trying to build around us. I'll get back to Kyle here in a second. You got to hear this guy's story. But last night, James O'Keefe was raided by the West Palm Beach Police Department. He said last night, just 14 hours ago, the police just came to my office and confiscated all my firearms. This just happened. Essentially, what happened with James O'Keefe is that
they're going to suicide him.
Got swatted by the West Palm Beach Police Department. This could have ended very, very badly for James O'Keefe or whoever was involved. This is essentially the initiation of a red flag law. And before I show you the West Palm Beach Police Department coming in and confiscating those firearms, you got to ask, okay, why did this happen? It all started with this guy who threatened the life of James O'Keefe and then put an order against him, and the judge granted the cops a warrant.
I don't even know who O'Keefe is.
Remove the firearms from a guy who is
O'Keefe Media. He did. He does like he gets people to admit stuff. He goes on Tinder dates and shit with all these politicians and stuff, and they get him to admit stuff. Forget what you call that type of a journalist.
Threatened. James O'Keefe was threatened by this guy. This guy didn't get his guns taken away. James O'Keefe got his guns taken away. Listen to this.
You say, I said you would want to carve out his heart and eat it in front of him.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a quote.
So this guy shot up my book and bragged that he wants to kill me. There's a bullet right through my heart.
But don't you feel bad because he was your friend?
I would kill him because he is one of the most evil people I've ever known. I got multiple people who know me well. I know my relations with Charlie, and James messaged me after Charlie was shot and said, be honest, when he was shot, did you not for a second wish that it was James? And I honestly responded to every one of those people. The second I saw him get shot, I wished, that was my immediate first reaction, was why couldn't it have been O'Keefe?
So this guy literally admits on camera that he wanted to carve James O'Keefe's heart out and eat it in front of him. His name is Matthew Tierman. This is the anti-American black robe-wearing tyrant judge, Marie Elizabeth Motto, who allowed Matthew Tierman to threaten James O'Keefe with death. And this is the video of the West Palm Beach Police Department taking away the protective defense of an American who was just threatened with death.
So we keep walking all the way back. There's ottoman over here. Everything's on. This is all free? Yep.
This cop really contemplated putting that rifle into that paper bag. And the other cop had to tell him, it's not going to fit in there.
I could definitely go in the back. Yeah. Yeah, it's on the paper. Did it prep and everything? I'll get it when we get down, make sure. And he didn't have any, no, we good. All right, we'll figure it out.
You guys needed anything from him?
We just needed his, I mean, as long as we.
I've got his date of birth.
Okay, we'll not grab that.
Okay. They don't need to see James.
And the same judge who allowed the unconstitutional violation in the first place has just overturned what she just allowed to happen. James O'Keefe just posted, Judge Marie E. Motto has just overturned the firearms prohibition placed upon me in the state of Florida. Order forthcoming at a hearing in Miami this morning. The judge, Motto, stated, Mr. O'Keefe, you are free to pick up your rifles in West Palm Beach at the sheriff's office. The judge said, I appreciate your compliance, Mr. O'Keefe, with this court's order, despite your objection. How about despite the objection of the Constitution you swore to protect, defend, and uphold, Judge? Quote, but I'm deleting those provisions, i.e. the prohibitions on your Second Amendment rights. There should have never been prohibitions in the first place, and this happened under red flag gun confiscation laws, which is antithetical to the Second Amendment, because you have a right, because you're a human being, to keep and bear arms. Doesn't say what kind of arms, doesn't say how many arms, doesn't say for what reason. You have the right to keep and bear arms, and that right shall not be infringed. That's why we should stand against registration, confiscation, and the court's obfuscation as they conduct a massive violation. Again, these are red flag gun confiscation laws. They're not keeping anybody safe. They're empowering the state as they put your life at risk. And in case you missed it, let's just quickly recap the insanity. This same Judge Marie Motto signed a domestic violence stalking order filed by former board member of Project Veritas, Matt Tierman, following the video released by O'Keefe of Matt Tierman threatening O'Keefe's life. After James O'Keefe submitted an emergency appeal, this same judge who signed the unconstitutional order without probable cause deleted the provisions of the very unconstitutional order she signed. That is the bizarre clown world we find ourselves living in. What kind of liability would Judge Mato or the West Palm Beach Police Department, for that matter, what kind of liability would they have if after they took his firearms, James' establishment was broken into, he was maimed, threatened, or even killed in the absence of firearms that he no longer had to protect himself? I mean, really, what's next? Are we going to be like China, whose neighborhood households are required to turn in all of their knives, all of their blades that are 10 centimeters or longer, and have a QR code inscribed on them, along with registration in a database to show the Chinese government what you have? So in case that weapon is ever used in the commission of a crime, they can trace it back to you and throw you into a cage? Because that's the direction we're going when the protectors and servants, the upholders of the Constitution, those who took an oath to protect and serve Americans and their rights, when they cross that line and they do the bidding of the black robe tyrants. And that leads us to the story of Kyle. Kyle just drives down the road like the rest of us, but for some reason, Flock's safety cameras always tip off the cops that Kyle has a warrant, when in fact, Kyle has no warrant. But that doesn't stop Flock's safety cameras from alerting Colorado cops that this guy is a bad guy.
Tonight, we get a little glimpse into the dystopian future. A Coloradan keeps getting pulled over because Flock's surveillance cameras tell police he has an active warrant. He doesn't. But he can't convince the surveillance network to leave him alone. Our Spencer Soysher has that.
Over here, they zipped out of nowhere and immediately got behind me with the lights flashing.
There was no crime committed.
No, I don't have a warrant.
But Kyle Dosman is getting used to sitting in his car.
I don't think this warrant has been on this car for very long.
And answering questions.
I continually am getting pulled over. I can't really use my truck in any fashion.
Kyle made sure his dash cam was recording yesterday after Cherry Hills Village police officers pulled him over near the same area Saturday.
Hello. Oh, we got you last week.
Yeah.
For the warrant.
Oh. I was driving through here yesterday, and I got pulled over again. It was actually by the same officer. You need my license?
No.
Okay.
I remember you, man.
Okay.
The Cherry Hills Village police say the Gilpin County Sheriff has a warrant out with Kyle's plate, and it was put on a Flock camera hot list.
A Flock camera hot list. Now, if you don't know anything about Flock safety cameras, they got a venture capital injection of $275 million at the start of their company. This venture capital firm called Founders Fund was co-founded by Palantir's Peter Thiel. He's the one with Alex Karp who's setting up the surveillance, control, and punishment grid. Flock systems and Palantir systems often integrate, allowing police to use Flock Safety's automated license plate reader data along with Palantir's analytical tools. And let's be honest here, this cop right here was pretty cool about it because he already had an encounter with Kyle. But imagine the cop who has not had an encounter with Kyle and is not clued into what's going on. He could have easily drawn his service weapon and fired a shot into this man's chest, and this man would no longer be with us because of the error of Palantir and Flock Safety. And this happens all the time. Remember the grandmother who was picked up for committing a crime that happened hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and she spent 6 months in prison, and it was all a mistake based on one of these databases?
Everywhere in the state, every time I pass a camera, they get alerts in their car that I'm in the area.
The Flock cameras did alert to his license plate being associated to a warrant.
Cherry Hills Village Police Chief Jason Lyon says when anyone with a warrant passes one of their Flock cameras, they get an alert, but that Kyle doesn't actually have a warrant.
Nobody should be stopped when there's no legitimate law enforcement purpose for that.
Kyle has called both the Gilpin County Courts and Sheriff's Office to get off the list, but they've told him he needs to know who the warrant is for. which nobody can tell it.
Yeah, all I know is I'm in this system now, and there's really no easy way to get out of the system once you're.
How is it his job to know who the actual warrant is for? There's a simple remedy to this entire thing. Get rid of all the flock safety cameras. Those flock safety cameras are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, monitoring everyone, including children on playgrounds.
So he continues to drive around, fearing when he's going to be stopped for questions again.
I don't know what this guy did to get a warrant, so I don't really know what the police response is going to be.
The chief said Cherry Hills has now taken Kyle off its flock hot list, but he can't remove Kyle from everyone else's. He believes the issue is because of a 0 in Kyle's license plate number. In Colorado, license plates have both O's and zeros. And sometimes when law enforcement communicates with DMV about a warrant, they put in a warrant for both versions, the plate with an O and then the version with a 0 as well.
Why is it this dude's problem to get it fixed? And like, what's he supposed to do?
So I just heard back from the Gilpin County Sheriff that somehow this is actually a Colorado State Patrol warrant mismarked through the courts as Gilpin, as this guy keeps calling Gilpin to try to get any information. Gilpin told me they reached out to the court and CSP to get this fixed. I've been on the phone with CSP the last couple of minutes, got to them late, not their fault. We don't know.
Tell you what, they're working on it.
Oh, Colorado.
It's confusing. It's also a little bit creepy. I'll just say.
It's not just confusing and creepy. It can be deadly. Flock and Palantir need to disappear. Nobody wants to be chipped, tracked, traced, surveillance, or monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, we should have
Leave your
nipped
thoughts
this in
about this
the
in
bud
the
a long
comments
time
below.
ago.
If you like these videos, subscribe to the channel.
Now it's a little too late. Damn, imagine that. They got you in the system.
Or the puppets or the enforcers. They're not evil. They're just incentivized. They're politicians, influencers chasing clout, corporate managers, media personalities, bureaucratic middle layers. They repeat narratives because it protects their position. It rewards compliance. The 90%, the asleep, are the distracted majority. Asleep doesn't mean stupid. It means overworked, overstimulated, emotionally exhausted, and financially stressed. When survival takes all your energy, critical thought then becomes a luxury. Endless outrage cycles, identity wars, dopamine loops, and fear-based news are distraction tools. They are governed more by emotion than by attention. And the 5%, the awake, are the pattern seers. Not all agree with each other, not all are right, but they share one thing. They notice patterns instead of events. They think systemically rather than tribally. They exist across politics, spirituality, economics, science. They threaten systems by asking why, not demanding who to blame. Why the 1% fear the 5%, but not the 90%? The 90% can be managed through division, fear, comfort, and distractions. The 5% can't because they don't respond predictably. They cross ideological boundaries, and they expose incentives instead of arguing opinions. Awareness spreads faster than control, and once people see how they're being influenced, the influence weakens. The real battlefield isn't information, it's attention. That's why serious conversations are buried, nuances mocked, and calm thinkers are labeled dangerous or crazy. But there's a hidden rule to the system. A population that understands systems is ungovernable by manipulation. So the goal isn't to keep people ignorant, it's to keep people too busy, too angry, too tired to connect the dots. The most dangerous person to any power structure isn't the rebel, and it's not the extremist. It's the person who is calm, can explain systems simply, doesn't have an enemy, and teaches others how to think instead of what to think. 1% control the systems, not with force, with predictability. 90% aren't asleep, they're exhausted, too busy surviving to zoom out. And then there's the 5%. They don't argue teams, they study patterns. They don't fight puppets, they expose their strings. That's why an increase in consciousness is dangerous. But once people see how the game works, that's when they can stop playing it. And that's what the system fears the most. Have you ever read that quote, 1% control the world, 4% are the puppets, 90% are asleep, 5% know what is going on and are trying to wake up the 90%, and the 1% don't want the 5% waking up the 90%? Well, here's a breakdown of it. The 1% are the architects of the system, not cartoon villains, but people and institutions with disproportionate control over capital flows, media narratives, policy influence, and resource allocation. Their power isn't magic, it's structural. They benefit most when systems remain complex and emotional charged rather than transparent. They don't need mass loyalty, only mass predictability. The 4%, or the puppets, are the enforcers. They're not evil, they're just incentivized. Career politicians, influencers chasing clout, corporate managers, media personalities, bureaucratic middle layers. They repeat narratives because it protects their position, it rewards compliance. The 90%, the asleep, are the distracted majority. Asleep doesn't mean stupid, it means overworked, overstimulated, emotionally exhausted, and financially stressed. When survival takes all your energy, critical thought then becomes a luxury. Endless outrage cycles, identity wars, dopamine loops, and fear-based news are distraction tools. They are governed more by emotion than by attention. And the 5%, the awake, are the pattern seers. Not all agree with each other, not all are right, but they share one thing. They notice patterns instead of events. They think systemically rather than tribally. They exist across politics, spirituality, economics, science. They threaten systems by asking why, not demanding who to blame. Why the 1% fear the 5%, but not the 90%? The 90% can be managed through division, fear, comfort, and distractions. The 5% can't because they don't respond predictably. They cross ideological boundaries, and they expose incentives instead of arguing opinions. Awareness spreads faster than control, and once people see how they're being influenced, the influence weakens. The real battlefield isn't information, it's attention. That's why serious conversations are buried, nuance is mocked, and calm thinkers are labeled dangerous or crazy. But there's a hidden rule to the system. A population that understands systems is ungovernable by manipulation. So the goal isn't to keep people ignorant, it's to keep people too busy, too angry, too tired to connect the dots. The most dangerous person to any power structure isn't the rebel, and it's not the extremist. It's the person who is calm, can explain systems simply, doesn't have an enemy, and teaches others how to think instead of what to think. 1% control the systems, not with force, with predictability. 90% aren't asleep, they're exhausted, too busy surviving to zoom out. And then there's the 5%. They don't argue teams, they study patterns. They don't fight puppets, they expose their strings. That's why an increase in consciousness is dangerous. So once people see how the game works, that's when they can stop playing it. And that.
The 5% Nation of Islam. I had to mute you, Jason, and the typing was so loud.
That's what the system fears the most. Have you ever read that?
He's pretty much right, this guy, or what he's saying. He said this guy's pretty much on point on what he's saying.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I'll be right back. I gotta go put some water on.
All right. You could unmute, Jason. I just muted you because the typing was loud. It was going over the video.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I didn't mean to do that. There's no noise cancellation on Firefox, I've noticed as well. I've got to start using Chrome, because then I'll be able to stream videos and you can watch it with the sound as well. Anyway, you all right, yeah?
I know people. I didn't know who O'Keefe was, but my point of the to play that video wasn't because of O'Keefe. It was because of what the judge did. That was my whole point. Because to me, it really don't matter if it was O'Keefe, John, Will, whoever. You know, that lady would have wrote the warrant, no matter who it was. You know, these fucking foreign entities, these courts, are raging war on the people, man. It's not for you. It's not for our safety. It never was. It's an excuse to wage war on the people, and they use safety as the loophole. Because people would be like, oh, where does it say somewhere where the cops? It's not their job to keep us safe. Neither the government. I forgot where that is, but yet they use safety as a loophole. It's always about safety. You know, oh, the flock cameras will help get criminals off the highway, you know, with warrants and this and that. It's a fucking joke, man.
For your safety, comrade.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's always for our safety. But yet we're never safe. We're never safer. We're in more danger when cops pull you over for an out headlight and they beat the fucking soul out of you. Because you don't roll your window down all the way, or you know, they feel like their feelings were hurt, so they pull you out your car and stomp you into the fucking highway. You know, I've seen it over and over and over again. I've seen where cops slam a 13-year-old girl on her face because they were walking in the street. I mean, what the fuck? But it's for our safety. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hello, Max, by the way. I hope you're good.
Good to see you, Jason. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Thanks. Yeah, that whole thing about for your safety, Charles, that is kind of, it's amazing how they can sell that line to people. It really is. I think we'd be less safe without government.
But they're not selling it. The crazy part is they're not selling it to the people. They're not asking us if we want it or not. They're just using safety as the loophole. Like, they never ask us if we want flock cameras on the highway. They don't ask us if we want cameras on every corner or any of that stuff. They didn't ask us about the Patriot Act. They just put that shit in play and say it's for our safety. They never ask us for anything. They just do it.
Yeah, you got the Online Harms Act. You guys have got, other online safety acts and stuff like that. We all have to ID up,
Yeah.
For your safety.
I'm not using no ID. They can kiss my ass.
Anyway, guys. Oh, sorry. Go on, Charles.
No, go ahead. I was just saying I'm not. And I hope a lot of people in the UK don't do the digital ID. I really hope they stand their fucking ground and tell them to shove that shit up their fucking ass.
I'll tell you what, before I get onto a rant about that, I've just got to tell you about something brilliant that's happened today, like positive, right? Our new next door neighbour has been round here today because the grandchildren have been here, right? And they've got a little kid, right? So they all come round to play, and the neighbour came in. His name's Josh, and I don't even know why he asked me this because we were chatting far, and then he said to me, he just brought it up randomly. He said, "What do you think the most outrageous conspiracy theory is?" And I looked at him, and I just had to say, "The Earth's flat, mate." And if you ask a question, you got to get the answer, haven't you? But I just thought it was brilliant because not only that, he kind of took it on the chin as well. And so apparently he's going to come round for another chat with us at some point when he hasn't got the kids with him.
Yeah, it should be fun to discuss that kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. But, he asked, so I was honest and told him. And back to the digital ID thing, Charles, right? There's a lot of stuff kicking off in this country at the moment because of all the immigrants coming in, the illegals, and I've mentioned it before and everything. On the 16th of May in London, they're going to try and shut down London, right? But the press is playing it as this is a kickback against digital ID. But it's not. It's got nothing to do with digital ID. It's because these people have had enough of all these illegals coming into the country. But I wouldn't be surprised because remember that digital ID thing came from nowhere really. They just and it's like they were preempting it so that when all these people start kicking off about the illegals coming into the country, they can basically say, "Oh yeah, these people are kicking off about the digital ID." Because trust me, the digital ID is least on these people's worries at the minute in this country. It's all of the illegals coming in every day. I mean, I could send you a video, Charles, if you want. I'll email it you because I wouldn't even want to share it. Another one of these like sexual assault cases come up this week with these, these migrants coming in. It was fucking awful, mate, to listen to it. It was absolutely fucking awful. And this is happening day in, day out. It's a scary state of affairs, really, because something along the line, somebody's going to flip. And I think it's all by design because they want us to, infight doing their own dirty work for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they're forcing people to do things. And what people need to do is not panic. People just need to say no matter what. Because if we all say no, which is damn near impossible because most people...
They're too scared, mate, to say no, some of them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So we need the strong people to say no. Somebody's got to do it.
Well, you know, they've got us all that cuckolded in various compartments and all that, you know, whether you're this or that. I think,
like, look
you
at
know,
China. Look at China. They, you know, you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile. First, it's the digital ID. Then it's register your knives. Then it's register, you know. Then it's, you know, the fucking car where they're gonna scan your eyes and all this shit. Then it's digital locks on your doors for your home. Then it's, before you know it, you will own nothing and be happy. And it's not about owning things; it's about them controlling everything.
Yep.
You know, you can't even have your own personal car anymore. They got to put fucking cameras in it. They're listening to your conversations. They're fucking scanning your eyes. There's cameras in your fucking car. There's no privacy in your own fucking home or car anymore.
I know, mate. And also this, like, they sell the whole 1984 ideal to you as like a dystopian nightmare. It has gone so far past that, Charles. It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? And people have just... It's the whole thing about putting a frog in the boiling water or the cold water and boiling slowly, isn't it? If you put a frog in boiling water, it'll try and jump out. If you boil him slowly, he'll happily sit there and boil to death. And that's what they're doing with everybody.
Like, I've had my license for 25 years, 26 years. I'm thinking about just letting it go. I don't even care. I don't own a car. I don't drive. You know, I was keeping it for like a job or something to maybe drive or something. But if they're going to pull this shit where it's digital, I'm just going to let it go, man. I don't even care. Fuck it. I won't even carry a license or an ID. And if the police ever ask me, I don't have one. I don't even care, man. I'm getting to the point where it's either we stand our ground or fucking they're just going to walk all over us. And I know most people ain't going to stand their ground. But I know I ain't.
But I think he will get to that tipping point, Charles, and I think I'm not saying it's a lot further away than what we expect. But remember, you've got that, because we're on the fringes, people who think like us lot, we're on one end of that spectrum, then you've got the other lot, and then you've got the lot in the middle. And it really, these people do have this mentality of, I just want to go to work, get my job done, feed the family, have a weekend, and then, you know, back to it. But it will get to a point where they're not even going to be able to do that because of various reasons. And then you're going to have a lot of people, the masses are going to start going, hold on a minute here, you know?
Yeah, but it might be too late by then, you know? We need to do it now. Look at from 2020 to 6 years, look how far they've come. So with cameras everywhere, flock, it's moving quick, man. Now digital IDs and, yo, they're putting this shit in left and right. They're moving on the chessboard quick now because I think it's because in 2020 when they pulled that shit and no one did nothing, they were like, huh, look, they ain't doing shit, man. We got these people. And they started moving on the chessboard, like putting all the pieces in play. They're like, these pussies ain't going to do shit.
Yeah.
You know, the government was like, oh, we got these fucking idiots. Look how many lining up for our poison. They're like, we got these fucking people. They ain't doing nothing. You know, most people are desensitized and numb. Like I always say, it's like when you talk to people, when I look at them in their eyes, they're just like, it's like they're not even here, man. It's like they don't care. They just are zombified. It's weird.
It's like it's not even their words or opinions coming out of their mouth. It's like something they were basically told by the media. It's very strange, that is.
People, like you said, they just want to pay their bills, go to work, and that's it. And before you know it, you're not going to be able to pay your bills. Rent is going to be so fucking high with all these data centers. Electric bills are going to be $1,000, $1,200 a month. People ain't going to be able to pay that shit.
And there's your tipping point, Charles. That's when it will go over into, you know, hopefully it doesn't go that way, but I can't see anything other than that, if I'm being honest.
I hate to say it, man, but we need a revolution. We need something, man, something. You know, we might have to take it to the Frankenstein days when they stormed the castle with pitchforks and fucking. Unless people want to live like China, imagine registering your kitchen knives. Like, what the? And these people are willingly doing it in China. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Well, I got to register my forks and knives? Like, yo.
Remember, man, I said this to you before recently. Like, you know, you can't carry a knife in this country. Not at all.
That's crazy.
It's as bad as getting caught with a gun. Guns are illegal in this country. Remember, you can't carry pepper spray for self-defense or anything.
Yeah, it's not illegal here either, but I guarantee you walk down the street with a fucking axe or something, the cops will pull you over here. It's not like it used to be in the 90s. I could walk down the street in the 90s with a fucking machete and they wouldn't say nothing. Yeah. You know, it's getting to the point where the government is realizing that people are soft. The new generation's soft, and they're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Look at they're raiding people's fucking businesses and taking their guns, and they didn't even do nothing wrong, and they could legally have these weapons, and you're going in someone's home and taking them. Yo, it's getting to that point, man. I've been telling people for years about this. When people laugh at me, they tell me I'm dumb, I'm crazy, and it's to the point where they're at our door. They're already at our fucking door, man.
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy. I've just got to respond to Dominic here because he said, what about wooden spoons? I think, mate, anything you can whittle from anything you can whittle from a piece of wood in our country, technically it's illegal.
Next, you have to register the stones in your front yard. Oh, you might pick that up and wheel it at someone. You got to register that stone.
Yeah.
Oh, you got too many. You got a gravel driveway. You got to register it. You might pick one of them stones up.
Yeah.
It's a joke, man. I couldn't live like that in China. And the people are willingly registering it. Like, what are they scared of, man? China's like one of the biggest populated countries in the world. It blows my mind that we just controlled by a small amount of people.
Remember this though, Charles, right? We only have what we think we know about China and North Korea from what our media tells us, to be honest. You know, it might not actually be like that, you know, but again, that's part of their tool set, isn't it? You know, to keep us all scared.
That's true.
Blah, blah, blah.
But I want to find out. I want to see if I could find someone from China and ask them if that's true. That's insane, man.
Well,
I got to see China Mac. I got to see if I could ask China Mac that, because he's always out in China. And he was just in China, as a matter of fact, China Mac. He's from New York. Yeah, I'll see if I could find a way to ask him that question on one of his live streams, but I would like to know.
I mean, I'm expecting him to, if he lives in one of the big cities, you know, he's going to have a fairly standard answer. But I did have a friend who went to visit China about, this was about 20 years ago, though, and he came back absolutely blown away. He told me he'd been into the mountains in China and he'd met, you know, went to villages where they'd literally never seen a white person. And he said they were so friendly and embracing. You know, he really was blown away by it. And it's kind of like this, Charles, isn't it? If you're a dick, you're a dick. Regardless of if you're a bloody Chinese person or American or English, you know what I mean? You're either part of the solution or part of the problem, aren't you?
Oh, shit. Man, if you want to come up, Don, you're more than welcome, or anybody. I keep forgetting to drop the link every once in a while. I don't know. Just the way things are going. You know, I know a lot of people be like, I ain't doing nothing wrong, so I don't care. But look how many people said they back the blue until it happens to you. You know how many people back the police until they got stomped out of the frame or wrongfully arrested? So I don't know.
A lot of these people don't learn, Charles. Like I said, everybody seems to take the path of least resistance just to put food on the table.
Yeah, I know.
When that ability's gone, this is when I think you're going to start seeing some sort of kickback against it.
Dom, you talked about this about a year and a half ago. You used to always bring it up. And you know, I always listened, but I didn't realize it was going to start moving in this fast, man. It's already pretty close to the point system. It's getting there really quick. And Candy said she didn't even get a physical license I'm trying to figure out what that means because I bumped into a friend and he said he renewed his ID and they mailed it to him in the mail. And I was like, what? Because every time I've renewed my license, asking the state for permission to drive on my fucking roads that I pay taxes on, they would give me my license right then and there. But I don't know.
I think that might be part of that. I think they call it the Freeman movement, don't they? You know, where you don't need a license if you know the law, and because there's certain things that are unlawful.
No, you really don't. If you have a license, all you got to do is they run your name and the license will come up. Or I remember my license number by heart, so if I ever forget it, I know my license number. But oh, you got a physical one? Okay, I just got the regular ID. Oh, not your license? An ID? How do you drive? No, you mean your license? Well, a license is an ID, but
aren't they trying to hook it all together?
Is different. Huh?
Aren't they trying to hook it all together, birth certificate, license, and all that in a digital form?
I don't know. I don't like it. Because what if you don't have a phone? What if you can't afford a phone? Then what? Right?
I think they're going to have to end up getting you one, aren't they? Because
yeah, that don't make sense. The state gives you free phones. Oh shit! Now I know why they're giving free phones. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Well, those free phones suck. They're so cheap and garbage. They're all free used too.
They used to promote a paperless society.
Oh yeah, I remember that being branded around all the time, mate. Max, honestly.
When was this?
Well, when you had a SIN number, a driver's license, that's identity. So they're trying to go to paperless. So now we all walk around with a cell phone. So there's the next step. So now you can have that digital system, and if people, like you said, Charles, let's say I don't want to have a cell phone, no problem. We'll give you a chip. How about we just offer you a chip?
Damn.
Now they might not. Go ahead.
For your convenience as well.
It will always be presented to your convenience, and then eventually, if you want to go to the hospital, you want to work, you're going to kind of have to need that, unless you want to opt from the system. You no longer want to participate in civilization. But as long as you want to participate in civilization, you want to work at a job. I don't care if it's Burger King, McDonald's, it could be IBM, as far as I'm concerned. You're going to have to play along. Now you can be disgruntled about it. That's why when the guy was talking about it, the young man who kind of summed it all up, most people are just tired. They're too busy trying to keep up with their, to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So they're openly talking about a system because they know most people are going to adapt or just say, okay, whatever. I'm not here to argue about it. Dare not have a police system like in China and India. You'll see how quickly America and Canada will adapt to the system really quick. You can complain about it still under the illusion of freedom of speech.
Yeah, that's funny as well, Tom.
Yeah, well, there's no action involved in it. Dare not actually start to protest, like I heard Max talking earlier because I was driving when I heard you guys talking. They protest, so you got to go out and get some sort of certificate so you can legally protest. Then you got to hire the police.
Yeah,
what a joke! What a fucking joke!
It is. That's insane. I didn't know that. This is in the U.S.
No, Canada.
So you saying you don't have?
Then it's probably here too, then, Max.
Right now, like
that's Dominic.
You don't have the freedom of speech to say what you're saying right now.
No. When we're here on a private platform, that's why they have policies.
No, I'm saying you're saying it right now, though. You have the freedom of speech to say what you're saying now.
Well, I can say whatever I want. It's usually when a person uses the word free that I kind of get suspicious. You can speak whatever you want. Freedom of speech is no different when somebody says they have free will. That's full of shit. You have a will. You can do whatever you want.
You have the free will to say you don't have it, right? You got the free will to say you're full of shit.
I have a will, and I can say it openly. I can say it openly when I'm just playing with the word free. I get it. We're going to, unless you understand, you probably do understand the energy behind the FREE. That's a different game. But the fact that we're conditioned and people will say it, it's like when people say the word conspiracy and then they say the word theory. Those are programs that are just meshing together. I'm able to speak if I want to. Is there rewards for it? Other people might say it's punishment. Yes, there is rewards and punishment for me speaking openly.
There shouldn't be though.
That's wild, man. That's what you said, Dom. You got to register to fucking protest. It's supposed to be free. Wow.
That's what's called under spells, right? If it's a reward for what you say and a punishment for what you say, and that's under spells.
Sure, reward. Again, ward. Each word goes into its own ward.
Kind of like you get what you ask for.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is magic, right? Which
sure. I'm with you, Wayne. I'm with you. But to think that we're going to change the system, when obviously change always occurs.
No, the people do change it though.
They manipulate it. Sure, you can call that change.
The AI taking in data, right?
Information, but so is air.
Yeah. So when everyone goes on the social media and start saying unalive instead of the other word, then the people are agreeing to change it.
They can, and then if you do an inner revolution, I just play with words. That's kind of the revolution I'm talking about. When you should be able to entertain many different ideals when you're in your own thoughts, even when you're speaking. But usually, for most people, they're revealing. They've casted a spell on themselves. I value the concept of free will. Okay, have you ever challenged the word free, let alone the word will, let alone freedom of speech?
Yeah, like your grandparents leave you a will and it's for free.
It's conditioned, but yeah, you can use the word free.
No, it ain't free because you got to pay the lawyer to put that in play.
Probably.
Probably got to pay, because I know a few people that get dollars from a will and they didn't have to pay anything.
Again, there's that English language again. We can use the will to mean many different things. There's
so it's a free will. It's called the Holy Bible, right? It's a free will.
Sure, you can call it holy and you can call it a Bible. I just call it a bunch of stories in a book. That's
it's a will. It's a free will to those that who it's for. It's not for everyone, I guess.
Could be. Again, Wayne, we can only speculate. It could be for everybody, but I've never really seen one thing fits everybody. That's where we're at.
So thou should not steal.
Depends on the circumstances. If one guy's hoarding all the food and you need food, you might actually do something that somebody else might perceive as stealing.
So the roaches, I ain't saying you got roaches. No. So the ants are stealing from you when they're in your sugar?
Those little thieves. Are they red ants?
The world is foolish, man.
Of course it is.
According to the free will.
This is the shit show that we're in.
According to the free will.
Try to be serious or silly or sincere in it. It still is what it is. We're using technology to talk about what other people maybe are or aren't doing. Who gave us this technology, as you were saying earlier, Charles?
We gave it to ourselves.
Well, we use it.
We think we comprehend it, right? We go in the store and purchase it. Like somebody enforce a device in your hand, right?
No, nobody forces anything. That's the whole thing. When they've done that in the past, it usually has. You have to put a lot of resources to maintain. It's a lot of this stuff is given to people willingly, and then they'll take it, and then they'll use justification. Well, I need a car.
You say willingly, right? Which is free will to. Yeah.
I said willingly, but if you think it's the word will, go ahead. There's many versions to the will, but if you want to put the word free, go right ahead.
Well, I'm saying everyone went and purchased their device. They had a free will to do so.
They had a will, but yeah, if you want to use it, it's not free. Even the sun's not free. I still got to go out there and take in the vitamin D's from the sun, supposedly.
But when you went in, though, you paid to go in. You call it go out there.
Imagine
someone to go in.
Guys, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to have to get off.
All right, Jason.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you guys, seriously. I just wanted to pop in and say a quick hello, but it's been a hectic day around here. We've had loads of visitors and I haven't finished yet today. But I'll still be listening, yeah?
All right, Jason.
And I'll speak to you later. One love, everybody.
One love.
So what tree pays to see the sun? Like, it's free.
Why do we pay for God's given fruit? And why do we pay for
Exactly.
water?
I would, personally, Wayne and Charles, I would use the word effort. We have to put effort, no matter what we do. It's effort involved. Whether you want to use the word free in front of it, because usually there's a connotation to the word free.
I said free?
No, not you, Charles. I was just saying out loud. I was just mentioning, I was talking to both of you guys. Where for a lot of people, the connotation for free, it means like, well, no effort. You have to put effort into everything that you do.
And free also is like you can go to the church and get some bread for free.
Could be.
I can't stop thinking about these trucks they're going to put out, which they already have. Tesla did, but imagine you get shot and you try to start your truck and they're scanning you and saying, you are not in the condition to drive, and you fucking die because of a stupid fucking truck telling you. Wow.
People get what they ask for.
The only way to solve that problem is to not buy their junk, but people will still buy it.
You want to be educated, you get educated.
Educated.
It's a catering service. You're being catered to, like you asked for.
That's funny. An educator.
Yeah, the teacher is an educator. Catering service. You want to learn how to spell? You got it. You didn't have to learn how to spell. People hear what they want to hear. They get what they want, what they ask for.
Mm-hmm. For some people, if they choose to, they can opt out of the system. For some, whatever that might look like. Maybe they'll become nomads or something, or they live in a tent.
Giving their power over to the corporation, and they forgot that they was the government.
I pledge allegiance to the corporation and the monetary system for which it stands, indivisible from God, nature, and mankind.
Yeah. Which is another kingdom, right? In the free will.
Man, these people are still working. What time is it?
You say certain things and stuff, people be like, no. But they talk about it all the time from what I'm hearing. Separation from God.
There would be a lot of people, probably in the past, obviously, that would probably say the hardship of nature is why the progression of living in comfort came to be.
Yes, which is catering, which is education. Independence Day, separation from God, 1776.
Pretty sure a lot of people, if they started living in, would give them a little bit of convenience, a tent out in the
Because
forest.
God could build a house. God could build a house. Like he could grow a house with your name on it and fully furnished.
How come they don't put dates on buildings anymore? They build all these structures and don't put any numbers on them.
You know, lightning.
Maybe because of the record keeping that they did, Max.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, so they would have everything logged in or whatever, whether paper or digital.
Yeah, I heard about the mother flood.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen evidence of it in your own area?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. So some of these buildings was always here since ancient times.
I don't know. Maybe some of their foundations.
Okay, yeah. Okay, they founded it.
I don't know. There's a church that's oddly buried underground in my city. Kind of like the one Charles shows, but It's got red brick going down into the ground, and they're digging it up right now, I guess, to repair it.
Yeah, the evidence.
I don't know why.
Matter of fact, I'm about to take you guys with me to the store real quick. I'm gonna run around the corner and show you guys the bricks under the road. So maybe someone could give me an opinion on what they think. Because I tried to look up brick roads in New Britain, Connecticut, but I couldn't find nothing. It's hard to find history. I might have to go to the library for that shit, and even then it probably won't have it.
I guess, guys.
You don't need nobody to tell you. You already see it. You know, we need confirmation from others, though, to feel like we see it.
I guess, guys, whether or not it's the remains of an old civilization or ancient trees, remains of ancient trees. Max, you show pictures or videos on dragon remains throughout the Earth's surface. How does it really serve for most people? And this is how you get most people if they were going to do a revolution where most of them are only concerned about economics. It's great to entertain the few. It could be 5-10% of the people. That's nice. We've had a mud flood. There's such thing as Noah's Ark. Yes, we used to have ancient trees.
But it's not new under the sun, so
Well, I'm here to be entertained a little bit. That's kind of why I'm here.
people acting like they brand new when there's nothing new under the sun.
Amen.
You was around in ancient times. You was here, from my perspective.
Yeah, nothing new under the sun. That's for the material aspect. There's things beyond the sun, but I get it. It was written in that book.
Yeah, you not new under the sun. You always was. You was the one here then. But you the only one speaking. Right? There's no other speaking but you. Socialism, man.
All right.
Charles, I picked up a Blue Jays jersey for my buddy today. That's why when I was hearing you guys earlier.
Where? Yeah, the fucking Red Sox couldn't win a fucking game if they fucking bought it. Pissing me off. They're losing every single day. Who's on the jersey? Is it just a regular one?
Just a regular Toronto Blue Jays away jersey.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me one. Red Sox. I don't know if I had the money, I'd get a throwback one like a Move On or something. But they're expensive.
Like who downloading all this data?
Jerseys are like $300. Ridiculous. I got my Papelbon jersey. That cost me $100 and something bucks back about 15 years ago. At least the Celtics are winning. And the fucking Boston Bruins can't win the game either. What?
We all talking for you personally, because you're the only one that can hear us. Who downloading all the data?
The data loaders.
Even who downloading the data loader? You don't even think it.
Let me see. I hope these are, man, they're right here. Oh no, it's the gas company.
You guys want to get all jerseyed up and be labeled and tagged and stuff?
Yeah,
Wow.
away, like, I don't know.
You just want to be part of something?
I want to be a
Apple
part.
computer, Max. My Apple computer. I got to get my Nike jersey on.
Right? Make sure it's all labeled.
I got my
It's
name
all
Dominic.
about the brand.
Yep, I got my
You're
name
not
Dominic
buying.
ready.
You're not buying for the product. You're buying for the brand name.
But it, you know, it's good for no economy. Yeah. You're an economic hero by buying merchandise.
Let me see if I cut through here if they're going to talk shit to me.
Yeah. But even that, Max, when we're using money, the different brands of money, it's the same game.
I like that brand. Good to be part of something, right?
Man is money.
If you buy enough jerseys, maybe your team will win.
Isn't that what they call it when you get enough votes for a politician? Your team
Right?
wins?
Yeah, whoever sells the most jerseys.
Yep.
The government should have jerseys too. They should do that.
Well, there's certain jerseys there, Max. They get the future debtors,
I'm gonna get in
citizens to
trouble
pay
for
for it.
this. But
I'd
you
like
see,
to see Parliament with hockey sticks and you know. Oh,
Can
yeah,
you
look
see?
at the Britons under there. Yeah.
it goes.
Oh yeah.
This is the road out here. The
That's just
sidewalk
kind
is
of
back.
lazy. You just put blacktop on top of it. Lazy.
I wonder why that's there though.
Because they're lazy.
See, I took this correctly. I put it to the side. I pulled it out from under the road because it has the full logo on there. I'm gonna get it when I come back. It has the full logo on this fucking thing.
Oh, what's it say?
I don't know. I can't read it. I gotta get water on it. Yeah, I'm gonna get it when I come back. Maybe I should grab it now. I would put it in my backpack, but it's so heavy. I'll just have to get it on my way back. But yeah, I want to wet in that part and clean it out and then see if I could find that logo on the internet.
No free will is like no one's perfect, and they both lies.
Well, we're all programmed from the moment we're born, right? So is there free will, or are we just following the programs we've been taught?
Yeah, free will to say you don't have it. You're the only one thinking. Like, we didn't teach you anything.
Maybe. Or maybe other people are thinking for me.
Well, you thinking that they're doing it for you.
Why? Well, they put all the thoughts in my head, right?
But you putting you giving them permission to put other thoughts in your head. You're the only person to download information.
Yeah, you look at a street sign, you take in that information.
You tell yourself what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah, then no one teach you that.
But they told you that. Who told you that?
You told yourself that.
They made you learn all the language. They made you learn the colors.
Yourself learn the language.
What color is the stop sign?
Damn, I'm thinking about grabbing this brick. I don't want the construction people to see me grabbing it.
Yeah,
even though they probably won't give a fuck.
It's
they're leaving. I'm gonna grab that shit and put it near my house.
They're using their language programming right now.
Yeah,
They're all victims, man. Victims.
These bricks are heavy as a motherfucker, too, man.
I'm telling the truth. I made this stuff up.
And it's wild.
Maybe they
Nowhere
convinced you
else
you made
has
it
these
up.
bricks. And I'm thinking, oh no, they're over here too.
What
Huh.
you say, Mac?
We didn't even know the words made up
These
unless
people
they made
beefing
them
at.
up and told you them.
Man, this brick's heavy.
Yeah,
I'm
I
about to
made them
drop
up.
it.
Yeah, I don't know what nobody telling me. Talking about they ain't got a free will. I'm like, dang, I think you do. Because like I'm saying something completely different.
Maybe the illusion is the deception, but then we would have to ponder what would
All
you
right,
compare
now
it
I'm going to the store.
Say that again, Don.
I said maybe the illusion is the deception, but then you would have to ask oneself, what would I compare it to?
Illusion is the
Yeah, hopefully when I get that when I get the logo off the brick, I'll be able to scan it, and then something will come up. I can find out what year. Damn, why is this not so bright? I can't even see the screen really. Hey, what's up, Tina Dummy?
you learn how to sell, and then you say they paid me. What am I thinking?
What about the NPCs? Who does their thinking? Does the government do their thinking?
Let me mute up.
TV?
I'm going under this tunnel.
Government is AI, right?
Well, kinda, yeah. They rate in their AI.
It's AI on the dollar, right? It always left its mark.
Or they're in their eye, eh?
It's an artificial eye. Yeah, yeah. There's no eye there. It's artificial, right?
Well, they put it in your eye. Stick it in your eye.
I made it
And
up.
then they give you identity. They dent your eye.
Yeah, with a president.
Yeah, another dent. Right? They keep denting you. We're all dented.
But I agreed, so I can't blame them. I think I comprehended.
So what about the idea that we're actually AI? And we're just talking to a software, something that's lesser than us.
I think we use artificial intelligence to communicate.
Well, if we have to ponder where we get these thoughts from, let alone the language, yeah, we could probably say it comes from somewhere else. We just get to plug and play. We get to use it. We're the users. Interface.
Yeah, the artificial language.
It'd be different if we all spoke the same language. Then we can talk about when you say over and over again, Wayne, about you're the only one that's thinking. But then we have to entertain why is there different types of thinking going on?
But you're the only one thinking there's different types of thinking.
I get that.
Yeah, okay.
You could pose the idea of who's the thinker, but at that point, we're using a language. Me and Max, you are using an English language. If we lived in another part of the world or somebody learns different languages, then the thinking process is how is it deciphering the difference of speaking Latin, French, Braille, American Sign Language?
Exactly. That's why it's artificial intelligence.
It is. Yes, and the human race gets to use it.
Because I don't know, the water is wet, but I call it wet.
Mm-hmm. That's why I lean more towards conditioned will than I would free will. The will's being conditioned all the time.
That's what it is, but it's wet. I'm using artificial titles for wetness of water.
Yeah, it's just a feeling. It's not really a word, is it?
Yeah, it's more. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Again, when you're talking feelings, emotion, now we're talking about energy and motion. It's always energy. Energy's never
intelligence to communicate.
Well, we try to.
Try.
We can communicate with bamboos. Hitting it on something, and 2 beats mean I'm coming to visit you later on, Max. 1 beat means I'm buying ice cream. Again, that's all conditioning. Those are all that program running.
which is artificial. I'm saying the same thing. Which is the intelligence of it is artificial.
Yes.
It's no life. There's no life in it. Yeah.
Well,
Or is it natural intelligence to express yourself?
If we're actually artificial intelligent, the concept of life, the breath of life, it is going through us.
The words that you're using for it is artificial because it's already so.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah, there's no life in the words you just said to me.
But it could be. Maybe everything travels through life, hence the breath of life.
Yeah, maybe we give it life.
Yeah, it could be. Or it's that kind of like breathing in and out kind of thing. The trees that give oxygen, and then opposite part of it, the cycle ideal. It's a perpetual cycle.
I believe there's a record of everything that happens, even our voice. So
Prove that the trees give oxygen.
Prove that that thing is a tree. Again, this is the programming that we're using.
That's what I'm saying, Dom. The word tree is artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. The word tree doesn't exist out there. Back to when we joked about it before. Russia doesn't exist there. Saying being Russian doesn't exist there. But people have been conditioned. And knowing that, go ahead.
My social studies book is Russia. And my Samsung device is Russia.
Mm-hmm.
He offered them all the kingdoms of the world.
The Russia hope. Ukraine was invaded.
That's what they tell us.
What's up with these migrations? You know, I've seen something about Somaliland where the U.S. and Israel will arm these people. So when they start fighting or protecting, that's their excuse for them to go in there and be like, well, we got to go in there because you guys can't handle. You know, they purposely arm these people and then call them terrorists.
Well, yeah.
But does not nature migrate? Again, when we use words like Israel, whoever is fighting against so-and-so, that's divide and conquer. Who's Israel? What makes Israel Israel?
Well, whoever those groups of people are. That's why I say take the labels away. They're still going to be scumbags.
It can be, but then you just put another label, scumbag.
That's a universal label, though.
There you go. We all earn that one.
They all fit under that one label. If I said Israel, well, they wouldn't all fit.
But that's more divide and conquer. You can call yourself Chinese, even though the people say, but I've already associated to a certain appearance, hence
Chinese,
to somebody that is Chinese looking.
Chinese. What if you got ashy knees?
Maybe. Sorry, Wayne, I can't really hear you clear.
I was asking Charles, well, can he take that picture off so I can show Israel?
I'm not Chinese. I'm dirty knees.
Dirty knees.
This is Israel.
It is real.
Okay.
This is a world history book from high school world history. Okay, so this is Israel. It looked like paint, right? Do this look like paint to y'all?
I don't know. It's real because they tell you it's real. It's real. Israel is real.
Yes, Russia would be here. Russia looks like a paper. Right? I'm not sure if people can see this though.
It's pretty small, but
okay. This is called Africa.
Yeah,
Africa is a painting.
It is now.
You went from Africa, one label, to the word painting. No matter what words you use, you're still looking at something objectively.
Yeah, I've never seen Africa a day in my life. I think it's an Africa street around here, though. But I never seen Africa a day in my life. It always looked like this.
So they say.
So when you talk about Africa, this is what I'm going to see in my imagination over there in this painting, whatever they're doing.
That's your programming.
Yes.
Yeah, it's artificial intelligence.
Yeah, programmed.
Yeah.
Programmed.
Well, whoever gave it to us at that point might be artificial intelligence, and we reinforce it.
From the day we were born, we were programmed.
Yes, we were. I'm with you, Matt. I'm with you on that, Max. If we were even born, opposed to birth, did we jump into these vessels, or were we literally inside the womb?
I don't remember it.
Either do I. So at that point, I can speculate. The ones that usually say, well, Dom, I was in the womb. I said, okay, so you might be a freak. So what were you doing in there, splashing around? Maybe.
Margaritas.
Say, because I came to Earth after the womb.
Yeah, or before. Could even say before.
Or always, yeah.
Or always. That's even another word. Yes.
Oh, I remember diaper changes. How embarrassing.
I came through a tunnel. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Came from the sunken place or something. Okay.
But this is where it goes from. If a person feels that they were, or believe that they were in the womb, then they're going to have to value towards it's a one-shot deal. People that value reincarnation or rebirth can entertain things like a walk-in. At that point, there's no sense having a discussion with a person that says, well, Dom, I don't believe in reincarnation. So then you value the fact that you were in that womb. So you're a spirit that was within another spirit? Okay. Let's go with that.
It's probably a walk-in.
Could be. Again, me and you can entertain that, Max, and maybe even Wayne. But for a lot of people, they're not interested in those words, which is fine. But then again, I can say, okay, where's air? And who gave us Wi-Fi? And who gave us all the different alchemy, like plastic, rubber, steel, gold, and all this other stuff?
You gave
At
it
that
to
point,
yourself. You
okay.
Yeah, because you're the only one know what it is, I guess.
Well, when I'm using words, yes, but I'm still looking at something I will identify as what we call gold or steel or plastic.
I gave gold to myself. I told myself that was gold or that ain't gold, right?
Yes, the words. I get that.
Well, we came in the middle of the game. If you wanted to name what gold was, you would have had to been there at the beginning so you could tell people what it was.
True.
Well, you are the entry one into the game, like you're the entry, period.
Yeah. But again, I'm with you, Wayne, in this.
I would have called it bling bling.
Bling bling. It's still bling bling here too.
You the first one born. I'm gonna say it like you were the first one born to see us on Earth.
But again, this is where some people would talk about the concept of subjective opposed to objective. There's the objective realm that our senses pick up. Now we use words to describe it. That would be subjective. So when you're talking about thinking, the only one that's thinking is you. But I can still say, but that thing is still out there. Even though I'm using thinking to perceive.
You saying it? I'm the only one thinking that you saying it to me.
I might be thinking it too.
Yeah, probably. That's why they give a more cumbersome language like the written work. So let's put it in another objective form. So how are we going to teach the human race? Left to right, right to left? Are we going to use like jagged lines, straight lines? Should we give them numbers too? Sure, let's give them numbers. Should we go from 1 to 9? Yeah, 1 to 9, maybe 0 to 9. Well, let's fuck with them a little bit. No, they're going to do that quite well.
First, they got to have a carnival or a zoo. They got to have a carnival or something to bring you in.
Maybe I already am. I'm already in the zoo.
The World's Fair, yeah. So first, you got to have a World's Fair, and then people want to learn how to count.
Maybe, yeah. I say maybe because I really can't answer this question. I could speculate till no end, but it's usually the one that says, "Dom, I have an answer." Okay,
Yeah, why is our math base 10, not based 18?
Say it again, Max. What do you mean?
Why is our math based 10 and not based 18? I'd like that better.
18, 1 and 8, 9. Well, it depends. As we said earlier, nothing new under the sun. The sun is a 7-day cycle.
Yeah, who's to say your 18 base is not the accurate truth? Like,
could be.
Could be.
Yes, I'm with Max on that one. It could be, but then again, how would we be able to answer that then?
But it's hard to think in base 18, right? Because we haven't been programmed to.
It can't hold up in court, right?
But we would have to be programmed to use the number 18.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's certainly ethereal because it doesn't really exist anywhere.
Exact fantasy. Yeah, it's fantasy.
Fantasy, magic, imagination. Again, you're using more words to try to describe it.
Like when you cook rice for your
Hey,
family.
you gotta stop using words to describe stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
How do we communicate?
But just shut your damn mouth. I'm not no offense to nobody.
Oh, I get it. I'm with you, man. You're not insulting me. I'm insulting myself.
And I'm talking to myself too, so
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why
So,
they say silence is usually golden.
Yeah.
You know, you're in thoughts, the
Am I
language of
communicating
consciousness.
or am I conversing?
That's a good one, Max. Yeah, a bit of both, I guess.
The sun is loud and golden, right? Or silent. You don't need to count each grain of rice when you cook rice for your family. You don't need to count like the grains of rice to split it evenly. You just can feel it.
Okay, but say you have a feeling. Could that also be something intuitive, which could be another artificial intelligence?
Well, that's why I said the rice for your family, but I'm saying from the heart, I guess I feel to split it evenly amongst the family.
On the physical level, it's manifest. But let's say there's people that,
In my
there's
heart, in my heart, I'm hungry as a horse. I can eat the whole pot of rice.
like when people play with the concept of Reiki or even tarot cards, how do we not know that there's not another realm that says, we'll play with you guys in that slower realm? What you pick up with your senses, we're already way ahead of you. So when you're thinking, Wayne or Dominic or Max, we already know what you're going to think, and let alone what you're going to say.
Yeah, which is I'm the one thinking you're going to know that.
I could. But then again, how would that serve me if I had that ability and if I already knew what Max was going to say, let alone what Max is going to do tomorrow? How does it serve me, let alone Max?
That's why it's called magic. You're not supposed to figure out how to grab it at right when you figure it out. It's another trick.
Yeah, it is another trick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's why when people do card reading or whatever, I'm like, okay, so how do we not know there's another realm, the spiritual realm, and it's playing? Well, let me do some ayahuasca. I said, so what?
Talking about the Holy Bible. Yeah, it happened.
It goes back to the prophets. The prophets, what were they channeling? What were they doing? What substance were they doing? Would they do bloodletting? Were they masturbating? Were they doing weed? Were they doing cocaine? What were they doing to get into those states? Meditation?
Were they just standing there, right? Yeah, they were.
And at that point, Wayne, I would turn around and say, okay, so they're channeling down some sort of entity that's going to be written in the book. How do I know that whatever that entity is trustworthy?
But the whole world is an entity, right? How do you know that?
It could be. Remember, I'm speculating, Wayne. I'm already speculating, so you're asking me to speculate.
When I go to download an entity on my device, and you say that entity could not be downloaded.
But it is downloaded. And as we're uploading at the same time, we use terms to basically explain what we do on a regular basis, upload and download.
For personal use, I mean.
Okay, you can use personal.
And I am the downloader, right? I am the only place to download.
Okay. Let's say you're downloading information from wherever and from whatever. But that still would indicate that you're still downloading.
Yeah.
From where and who are you?
All from outside.
It could be. It could be, or it could come from within and then from without. You literally have to go inwards and realize there's a bigger frequency.
Yeah, it's already on your show or your show.
Like most people are going to see whether they want to admit it or not. They're going to see devices, but they're not going to be able to say, okay, but what's in between? You see your cell phone, you see the cell tower. What's in between?
You?
Could be. That's you can start with that. Whoever you is.
If you want to give it a name, you can give yourself a name out between you know, in the cell tower. Whatever you look at is your iPhone.
Okay, let's entertain some ideals. Okay, I don't want to pin one particular individual's name, but let's go with a bunch of them: Jesus, Socrates, Muhammad, Joan of Arc, Alexandra. How would we present to them this type of technology?
They already know about it.
No. We don't know who they are. I'm just saying these fictional characters, let alone they might even be real. How would you explain to Jesus, yeah, you see that TV there, there's a little device there. So what were you talking about before? Same with Socrates. Maybe Nostradamus would be something that could perfect.
About the TV. He was, to me, he was.
Are you willing to entertain ideals, or are you going to speak on his behalf?
Well, I'm the only one thinking, so I'm telling myself Jesus was talking about television.
Okay, good enough then.
Yeah, period.
Maybe I'll have that inquisitive ideal with maybe Jason or Max another time.
But where can you get another thought where you see yourself? Where can you get the idea, imagination of another thought outside of yourself?
So, but then is not Jesus a magical character then, or Muhammad, or
I would love to add something quickly. I hate to interrupt you guys about what you said there about Jesus. You know, I'm not being rude. I'm not trying to diss anybody's religious beliefs, but you're talking about a person, a character that lived over 2,000 years ago, or, you know, give or take, you know.
Just everyone following Jesus, knowingly and unknowingly. If you got a birthday and you recognize it after year one, or after the death of Christ, right? Year one, you are following Jesus, whether you want to or not.
Yeah, but year one is nonsense, isn't it? Let's face it. I'm not, and this really isn't a dig at any religions, but, you know, just to say that our year one is Jesus' birthday is absolutely ridiculous. It really is.
Because if he died at 33, then it's 33 years we need to add to 2026, and then his mother and father, right?
Yeah, but this is my point, man. And like I said, I'm not trying to provoke an argument here. I'm really not dissing your beliefs. But it's like, you know, you can't actually prove that he was born on 25th of December at the year zero. You know? Let's presume, right, he is real, right? And if he is real...
I feel like what you're saying. I think I feel like what you're saying. I agree.
I mean, and I will add this as well, because I'm in between the religions. Since I gave up being an atheist, I haven't really found my niche, if I'm being honest. But it doesn't really matter what day of the year that guy was born on. If you believe in him and you get your strength from that, and other people do, then that's the most important aspect of it, isn't it?
That's why it's artificial intelligence, because we could be saying 20 different things to 20 different people. But, you know, we have not, you know.
I guess, guys, whether or not a character named Jesus, Muhammad, or Jason, I'm trying to be ever so lightly with these kind of conversations. The only thing you can apply to that is a belief. So now, in the now, I would have to ask somebody, let me have a second, Wayne, ask somebody here, where do you see air? Let's do something more concrete. Well, I don't see air, Don. Oh, okay. So we're talking about the unknown now. Now, how does the air serve you, opposed to how does a character like Jesus or Muhammad or Socrates? I could throw a whole bunch of characters in it. You know, and this is where people start.
It's all imagination.
Sure, it is. I'm with you. And this is where
you don't see air.
Okay, again, I'm doing general conversations. If you want to just make it about you, Wayne, I'm okay. Go ahead, share whatever. But I'm making general conversations here, and that's why I'm using different. I'm trying to use different characters, Wayne. You know, this is where people do the divide and conquer, and then all these subdirectories. I'm not Christian, I'm not religious, but yet I'm an atheist, I'm a humanist. Again, those are all games that we play with each other. How can one truly prove that they're an atheist if they don't make a comparison to somebody else? How does a Christian compare themselves if they don't use the word God or Jesus or Muhammad? Again, these are characters. Now, when I say character, Wayne, you go ahead.
You told yourself what I was saying, right? I didn't teach you English.
I already know I was speaking English, but I was actually having a conversation with it. But if you want to bring down how English came to be, I'll keep quiet. If not, it's kind of a mute point.
I'm saying that I told myself what you were saying. No one.
That's nice. That's nice. But can that be a mute point for you?
Let Dom cook, man. He was cooking.
You know, like I get you want to share things, and I'll gladly keep quiet.
I get it, Lane. I get it.
No. Don't go there, Wayne. Don't try to excuse your behavior by saying lame. Learn to mute yourself.
No, it always was like that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, it's not about sir. No, it's because I'll be the example. I'll mute myself. You know, I choose to open and act like an idiot or like to gesture by making these kind of ideals. Now, the people that reveal themselves, well, I'm a Christian. That's nice. I was having a conversation. I'm a Muslim. Okay, that's nice. I'm having a conversation. Now, if you want to be defending your cult leader, whoever they are, I said, are they here to defend themselves, let alone attack me? No. So at this point, let somebody else just share their views. Because I'm not here to condemn a character named Jesus, whether he was real or not. And they can say to me, Dom, and then if it's written in a book, I said, okay, now we can talk about the conditioning part. How did you learn how to read or write? And how are you supposed to read that information? And when? This is how people don't realize how much they have cult behavior with them. They will defend a book. Well, then how did you get the name Jesus if it wasn't in a book? Let alone people talk about revelation. If we really want to go there, revelation. Do people really want to be able to go to whatever this entity and bow down to it regular over and over again? For most people, if they're honest with themselves, whether or not it's the real God or some pretend God, they wouldn't want to do it. So at this point, it's a moot point. So I just brought in characters. In this particular case, if it was Jesus, Muhammad, and Buddha, how would I show them? I said, this is an electric scooter. Did you have this back in your days if you did exist? Well, not really. So then what were you trying to tell about? Again, go ahead, man.
Yeah, we had it because I feel it was us on YouTube doing this, what we doing now.
So how can we prove that then? Because obviously it's not written anywhere if we're going to use those books.
I can't prove it to you through the words.
Okay, so you can't. So we're speculating. Wayne, we're speculating. Come out, Wayne. We're speculating. If you can't prove it, we're speculating.
Because only you can get what I'm saying, though, right? Like if I tell you why I feel that to be true.
Okay, true. Okay, so true means program. It means patterns. Reason or rhyme. That's pattern. That's what it means to be true. Truth is a totally different story. So when you use the word true, if you're using the word true, we should be able to see a pattern to that.
This is what I mean by 20 different things being said, because you told yourself what I was saying. I didn't keep you in here.
Again, Wayne, I know that about me. That's a mute point with me. That'll be like you telling Wayne, hear me out for a second, Wayne. If I'm doing work for you and you have to openly say, Dom, you know I'm going to pay you. I said, I'm suspicious now. Why? That's a mute point for me. I know it's a given you're going to pay me. How much you're going to pay me? When are you going to pay me?
That's what I'm supposed to tell you I'm not going to pay you, right?
That's right. Wayne, whether you know or not, you become this ongoing fucking troll and it's wasted energy. So I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, thank you. Would you stop comprehending garbage, right? Stop thinking you can hear me. You understand how to spell. But I can prove why I say they had electric scooters in ancient times. I don't know if anyone want to hear it.
Oh yeah, I think they might have, mate. Yeah, but I'm also listening to what Dom's saying here, and I love to play devil's advocate sometimes, but I'm gonna do the opposite here because, like I've just said there to Canna in the chat, yeah. After I stopped being an atheist, I realised that there is definitely a higher power out there, and everybody interprets it differently because of their upbringing, their environmental thing. You know what I mean? And and I see a lot of people arguing about this when they can't just get together and realise that there's a higher power. I think God was invented by man. I don't think God's real, but I do think there's a higher power.
Okay. You call God higher power. I call higher power.
It's good to look at things from different angles, though. Like play the devil's advocate. Just look at things from different angles.
Well, the thing is,
You gotta go, guys. Have a good day.
Ciao, Max.
Again, you too, Max. Have a good evening, man. Thanks for coming by.
Playing the advocates are one thing, Satan.
I have to make it up.
Yes, you're obviously making it up, and I don't have to always say that I'm making shit up, but it's part of it. So for me, I just have to look at
your angle, right?
Wayne, I really like to I like to share things, Wayne. I really do. But it's very challenging to have a conversation with somebody when I don't mind the interaction back and forth. But if you're going to constantly interrupt,
I'm trying to do this with you, you can recognize I'm not sticking the dictionary in right. Like you can see, I'm not doing it right, and I won't do it to you right.
So Jason, as I was hearing you earlier talking about it, I just have to look at nature and realize, regardless if I know there's a word to it, God, aliens, reptilians, nature for what it is, the sun and the moon, the water and all that kind of stuff, is not human creation. It's something. So I could speculate what name I want to put to it, but I do know by looking at it, something's there that we just don't make. We can manipulate to a certain point.
I'm saying the same thing, man.
Yeah, and I hate to bring it up, but you mentioned it just a little one moment again, ayahuasca, and what that shows you. I mean, that is a truly unexplainable thing to me, what that shows you. And I really do think there's a part of everything in the human psyche and the consciousness that will, do you get what I mean? I think that's a part of it. I really, really do.
Yeah, there's ways you can alter the brain chemistry so you can get into those other states. You know, some people want. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jason.
Thanks. I really don't think it's about altering brain chemistry. I really don't. And I've heard that of many people, and no disrespect on, because I know you're a smart person.
Well, please share. What is it? I just use the word.
Okay.
It could be chemistry.
Put it this way. It's very, very hard to put into words, mate, because, you know, you hear about people who've taken psychedelics, LSD, magic mushrooms and all this. But, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but nothing on this earth, right, will prepare you for a DMT trip. It is just, there's absolutely nothing that can prepare you for that. You know, you could spend years doing psychedelics thinking, right, I'm ready to go now. And once you do one, and like I've always said, you only need one glimpse at what they show you there, and then you are a changed person forever. You know, I'll be honest with you, I think that's where most of the human concepts of God come from. And I also think it's the reason why we have this term, so above, so below, because as above, so below, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never really understood that. The flat earthers use it a lot, but I'm thinking, what does that actually mean? And I truly do think it's referring to that other realm that you go to when you're, you know, under the influence of DMT, you know?
When it's flat in your face, yeah.
And, you know, I could sit here for ages speaking to you about it, but I know you don't really want to do that at the minute. But, you know, I think that's where God comes from.
It can be. I can never exclude those words, but we can entertain these ideals. So for some people, it might give them something beyond what we call the senses. Again, no different when people do hypnosis or they do submersion tanks. There's many ways to go beyond what the senses pick up. Now, it's when we try to explain it back into the senses where it becomes all jargon, or you'll hear somebody that's very fluent in the way they explain themselves, or they write it very, very romantically. But it still doesn't explain where a lot of this stuff is or isn't. It's kind of like, you know, where does language come from? That's a childlike interpretation of being an awe. Okay, I don't know where words come from, even though somebody can point to them up, but where do they come from? Where are memories stored? Why is the body contained of blood, but meanwhile we have to drink external things like water? You know, again, these are the things we can ponder, but if we come under the premise that we think there should be an answer to everything we ponder, we could be, you know, kind of misguided.
That's like you around the artificial intelligence, if you already is the answer.
It could be. I'll go with that. But the thing is, that's like, for a lot of people, that'd be a cheat note. That's like too quick, too soon for them. For a lot of people, go ahead.
Sorry, interrupting you. Carry on, Jason. I was going to say about that like cheat code thing, man. Yeah, it kind of is, but I see that branded around a lot. And I hate to say this to you guys because I know you haven't really had a DMT experience, but once you see it once, things drop into place. It makes everything kind of make sense in this crazy world that we live in.
I never used DMT from a facility or something like that, but I have had that experience.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, guys. You know, not one thing fits everybody else. Some people might have a DMT experience. Some people, it could be a near death experience. Again, but if it resonates with one and it helps them transmute, this is the word I was going to use, earlier, transmute. You transmute from one sense to something else, but then being able to merge it back together. It's like we are physical and spiritual. But the thing is, most people can explain the physical because you can always bang it or you can, smell it or taste it. But he said, but I can't see the spiritual. I said, once again, it's almost you have to experience something from a different experience, from something else.
Yeah, you're right there, man. Also, this about back to God, right? And
it is the spiritual.
Going after you, Wayne.
The seeing of it is the spiritual. But I might tell you about a car with 3 wheels, but me seeing it is spiritual.
I gotta jump off here in like 15 minutes. I hate to be a party pooper. Unless you guys want to stay on, I could, let you guys
No,
chill.
I only jumped back in quickly, Charles, because we're talking about this. I've got to go myself, right? But I will leave you at this, right? If you do believe in God, and you think that all of the things on this earth were put there for us, including the plants, not only the animals.
I know there's a God. I don't believe because we are.
God would not have put that thing in the plants if it wasn't for a specific reason. Let's face it.
I'm with Chuck on that actually, where I value the ideal of God. I know an ideal is like a belief, but I can look at everything that was left or still here, and I can say it's not human origin. Nature is by far different in its curvature and its chi compared to man-made devices that are usually angles. Go ahead.
But it's all personal.
It can be, hence the word ghost, G-host. I could literally be, whether I am the God or actually it resides within me. Could be, hence, a lot of things is in silent. It never needs to reveal itself. I'm the student when I talk out loud.
Yes, sir.
So once I'm inwards and I go quiet, I might have many teachers, but they only come to the forefront in my silence when I'm ready. What we're doing right now is we're tripping in the dark by talking with each other. It's a given in my world when we speak, there's going to be sounds and frequencies involved. And when you write things down, now you're playing with hemispheres of being entrained.
Looking in.
What's that?
Looking in, yelling through the window.
Could be, yeah. And if some people respond back, so be it. As long as you respond back. We're kind of, when we're in these suits, on our own journey. But there's a good chance when we're not in these suits, it's probably more of a merger. I'm using the word merger. It's probably not even a correct word.
Yeah, you could be in my dreams. If I see you on Earth, you could appear in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but again, a lot of these things become outcomes for people. So they got to prove a point. It's kind of like sports. You have to have winners or losers. Opposed to just see it for what it is. Be the observer. Be the witness in those moments if you choose to. But for a lot of people, they really want to be attached to the continuous senses and its attachments, which I enjoy too. I won't deny those of myself. I'm not going to say, that's it, I'm going to leave civilization because I think there's a better realm somewhere else. No, I'm here to enjoy as best as I can. I use the I, by the way, not the E.
It's just like when you daydream, you could daydream and see things that you're daydreaming about.
Yeah, as we're dreaming already, but we're doing another subdirectory called a daydream. This could all be a dream for us right now as we're speaking with each other. It just looks real based on what we've been programmed with words such as real. Because then my question is, what is real then? As a person says a tree is real, I say, okay, but where's tree? As they keep pointing to the object, where is tree?
Y'all talking about Israel that you can't prove that's real.
I can't, but I can manipulate myself as long as the people that I'm communicating have already been manipulated. Say, yeah, it's over there. Look, see that guy there? He's an Israelite. Well, how is he an Israelite? Well, he's not African. What's an African? There you go. If you've been manipulated one end, you have to be manipulated in the other end. So therefore, everybody has to have labels. I'm an electrician.
I assume there is real light in the sky.
The illusion starts when you after the I am. I am all these different things, but yet I'm none of those things.
Yeah.
I am Dominic. I am an electrician. I'm a father. I'm a punk. I'm an idiot. Those are many I ams.
Sign is above you. Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to take off too, guys. Wayne, thank you again. I apologize if I was a little bit crusty there like usual, but
I'm on the outside looking in.
Ciao, Jason. Ciao, Charles.
No, man. Yeah, Dom, you're always good, man. Always good to speak to you, mate. It really is.
Have an enjoyable, beautiful, horrible, whatever words you want to use day.
You too, man. Much love, Charles. Dom.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, guys. I'll probably go live in the morning earlier this time. But I appreciate you coming up, and I appreciate everybody in the chat. I'm about to dip up out of here.
Too, man.
And, yeah, I've got things to do as well, mate.
I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
And have a great evening.
Yeah, you too.
Everyone in the chat, have a great evening. Weeping and weeping and lamentation.
My spirit is out of spirit. I have experience.
Peace, everybody.
Yeah, later, Charles. Yeah.